Good evening and welcome into Joe Cannon Stadium. I'm Rob Stadnick alongside Matthew Peterson for this broadcast of Baltimore Dodgers baseball between the Herndon Braves and the Baltimore Dodgers. The Dodgers coming into today 2-2. The Herndon Braves 3-3, so a couple 500 records. But these two teams met back on opening day. The Braves, or the Dodgers opening day anyway, the Braves got the best of them.
Yeah, they absolutely did get the best of them. I think the Dodgers are going to come out today, and what they're really trying to do is clean up a lot of the sloppiness we saw in that opening day for the Dodgers. What we saw back then, Rob, if you remember, it was a lot of baseball not focusing on the batter but the runners, and I'm really looking forward to the change because as the season has progressed, we've seen the pitcher focusing on the batter and not worry about the man at first, and that cost the Dodgers a lot back in that opening game because we saw a lot of balls get away from the first baseman and runners advance off errors.
Yeah, and we saw that a lot as well in the last ball game that the Dodgers had here at Joe Cannon Stadium against the D.C. Grays, a couple of overthrows from the pitcher's mound. In that game, one of the things that strikes me, Jordan Menfee started that game, allowed the Braves to get off to a 4-0 lead before the Dodgers ultimately came back, but then gave away that. Well, they got to the tie, but then in the ninth inning, giving up 3 runs, coming in, and then they settled down on the mound after that. And the mound is where I want to turn now, as the Dodgers are going to send Stephen Cook to the hill. Now, Cook, if you remember, had an extremely good outing his first time out. This is going to be his second start for the Dodgers. His last outing was a start last Friday, so 6 days ago against the Baltimore Redbirds. He went 5 innings, gave up just 2 hits and 2 unearned runs. So he himself is having a fantastic start to the season.
Yeah, he really did come up to an explosive start in that. Unfortunately, lost for the game for the Dodgers there, 11-9. They fell to the D.C. Grays, but picked up 4 strikeouts and 2 walks in his debut there. So I'm really excited to see what he can bring here. Switching gears to the field, though, for the Dodgers, we're seeing a couple changes out in the field. We're not seeing some usual suspects like Alex Taylor. Taj Porter making his way in the lineup. For all you lifelong Dodgers fans out there, you'll recognize that name. He played for the Dodgers last season, picked up 17 games, 6 runs and 7 hits last season, and he's at second base replacing Miles Mensa. What do you make of the change here?
Well, I mean, you got to get him into the lineup. He was a little late getting here, obviously, but last year his season kind of ended early, as a couple of the players did with injury. He was another freshman, just like Paul DePino. He was going into his freshman year of college, so he was a fresh young face type of thing, and now he's a seasoned vet for the Baltimore Dodgers. But you got to get him his reps. These are going to be his first reps of the season with a couple of rainouts and one game that ended up getting suspended. It's really his first chance to get on the diamond, so we'll see how he
And talking about Taj Porter, though, it's been his freshman year at Pasco Hernando Junior College. There as a sophomore, played in 39 games, which is very impressive for a freshman. Give me a sophomore in the fall, but coming out of his freshman year there, played in 39 games. For any sport, you're a freshman to come in at 39 games like he did is absolutely remarkable.
And we're going to turn things over to Ethan Heyman. He's the public address announcer for tonight, and he's going to introduce the starting lineups.
Dodgers. Now it's time to introduce the starting lineups. First, for the Herndon Braves. Batting first is the third baseman for Virginia Commonwealth University, number 3, Brett Norwood. Batting second is the shortstop from Hofstra University, number 17, Austin Gauthier. Batting third is the catcher from the Citadel, number 10, Bryce Leisure. Batting fourth is the center fielder from Hofstra University, number 19, Vinny Costello. Batting fifth is the right fielder from Wilmington University, number 1, Dakota Graham. Batting sixth is the second baseman from Mars Hill, number 5, Cody Klein. Batting seventh, also from Mars Hill College, number 14, Devin Mangum. Batting eighth is the first baseman from the University of Dayton, number 35, Jeff Stuke. And finally, batting last is the left fielder from St. Joseph's University, number 13, Tim Johnson. And pitching from Ball State, number 51, Jake Rist. And now the starting lineup for your Baltimore Dodgers. Batting first is the center fielder from Sacramento State, number 16, Trevor Doyle. Batting second is the pitcher in junior college, number 1, D. Shelton. Batting third from Villanova University, number 33, Colin Berg. Batting fourth is the first baseman in junior college, number 45, Paul Nixon. Batting fifth is the third baseman from High Point University, number 10, Paul DePina III. Batting sixth is the catcher from Millersville University, number 13, Nick Graham. Batting seventh is the left fielder from Ohio State University, number 25, Jake Ruby. Batting eighth is the right fielder from West Virginia Institute of Technology, number 22, Dario Torres. Batting ninth is the second baseman from Pasco Fernando State College, number 26, Taj Porter. And pitching for your Dodgers from the College of Charleston, number 29, Stephen Cook. At this time, we ask you to please rise and remove your caps for the national anthem.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, and let's play ball. Batting first from Virginia Commonwealth University, number 3.
And we are just awaiting the opening pitch here. Brett Norwood at bat for the Braves, and takes a strike one right off the bat.
Yeah, we didn't get the announcement. Didn't get the announcement in the stadium because I didn't have the mic potted up for some reason. But Brett Norwood is in there. First delivery to him, a strike, and the 0-1's going to miss.
Brett Norwood led off last time the Braves were in town and stole all the way from first to home just to kick off the opening run there for the Braves last time on June 6th.
And the 1-1's going to be fouled out of play. Why am I hearing an echo? You hearing that? Are you hearing that echo too? I'm hearing an echo.
It's a little loud.
All right. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count on Brett Norwood, left-handed hitter against the right-handed pitcher. And the 1-2 pitch is in the dirt.
Norwood right now batting, and Norwood playing third base. He plays at VCU. He's going to be a junior in the fall. And that's a shot that's going to go to right field, and that'll be a routine catch there for Dario Torres, who takes that with ease to get out number 1.
Batting second from Hofstra University, number 17, Austin Gauthier.
You know, for two teams, there's only a handful of schools that make up both these rosters, and Hofstra is one of them, Rob. And we talked to Miles Mensa before this game, one of the Dodgers players. He's not playing today, usual starter, but we asked him what it's like going up against a lot of his teammates and opponents. You know, all of a sudden you play with them and play against them, and he says it's a really interesting feeling going up against them.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you consider, I mean, maybe not so much in college, but you play with the same people for so long, you know, in your entire life. You play Little League with them, and you go to high school together, and you end up playing with them in high school. And obviously when you go to college, you probably don't see a lot of those guys. But then once those guys are teammates and you come to a summer league and start playing them, it's got to be a little weird. As 2-1 the count now on Gauthier as the first 2 pitches missed, but the 2-0 is in there for a strike. And now foul ball back into the stands. And the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yep, last time Gauthier came here to play the Dodgers, he had 3 at-bats, and he did some damage at them. He went 1 for 2. He had a hit, an RBI, which was a double, but he'll get the out right there. And the Dodgers are off to a much better start than we were last time we faced them.
As, yeah, Gauthier with the strikeout looking. Cook starting off hot.
Yep.
From the Citadel, number 10, Bryce Leisure.
Bryce Leisure, the catcher, up to bat now.
Lefty-righty matchup. A fastball is delivered in there for a strike.
Leisure, also a player that got some damage done against the Dodgers last time we faced him, had a hit and a run. That contributed to that 7-4 victory for the Braves.
As the first 2 deliveries are in there for strikes, the 1-2, that's in the dirt. And the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Leisure playing in yesterday's game went 1 for 1 for the Braves. 1-2, chopped to the left side. DePino is going to get the high hop, and he'll throw across the diamond to record the out. The Dodgers get the 1-2-3 inning in the first. They're coming to bat in the bottom half. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. right, back here for the bottom of the first inning is the Baltimore Dodgers and the Herndon Braves, as Trevor Doyle is going to stand in to lead things off for the Dodgers. The wind and the delivery from Jake Rist getting the start for the Braves in there for a strike.
Doyle, one of the most consistent players on this Dodgers team, despite not even being a freshman yet in college. Just finished up his senior year of high school this spring.
The 0-1 on the outside corner for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes to Doyle. You can see early on Rist coming from well over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Full wind up. Gets a sign, and he'll come home to Doyle. Line drive back up the middle for a base hit, and Doyle continuing that hot streak here as he leads off the game for the Dodgers with a line drive single back up the middle.
Doyle pick up his 6th hit of the season right there, and he is one of the leading hitters on this Dodgers team. And like I mentioned, he's only going to be a freshman in the fall at Sacramento State from Las Vegas, Nevada. Half the team doesn't even know his name, I think. They just call him Vegas around the clock.
That's as nicknames go, that's probably not the worst one in the world. It's D. Shelton standing in. Not a big lead over at first base, and Shelton almost getting hit with the first delivery.
Yep. Before this game, we talked to Colin Berg, the catcher, and we asked him one of his favorite pitchers on his team. And he didn't even know the name, but he just said, we just call him Lehigh, referring to Jason Reynolds, a pitcher who had an outstanding game only a few nights ago.
Yeah, it's just on Tuesday. Dodgers were off yesterday, which kind of played into the whole not playing very much. The fastball delivered up high. They had a suspended game, a rain out. Then they played, and then they were off. So just one game in the last 4 days. But then that just means they're going to have hell to pay coming up this weekend, as they've got a pair of doubleheaders Saturday and Sunday. Luckily for us, we don't have to call them.
Yep, that really gives your pitchers a break at the beginning of the season. You like that sometimes, but it's going to be tough towards the stretch there.
2-0 is going to miss inside. 3 balls and no strikes to count on D. Shelton. Dee and I were actually talking before the game on Friday against the Grays about just like the nuances of scoring and about the fielder's choice rule in particular. It's a 3-0. That's in there for a strike. As I overheard Paul Nixon saying he thinks that you should be credited with a hit if you reach on a fielder's choice. I mean, anything to raise the batting average, right?
Whatever pumps the numbers right there.
Right. So I was kind of explaining to him, I was like, I'd agree if you didn't actually hit into an out. But there are times, and I was telling them this, there are times you could hit into a fielder's choice, but no out be recorded. As the 3-1 is delivered up high, and Shelton's going to take the walk, runners at first and second.
D. Shelton, one of the, again, batting second, you expect it, but that's his 5th walk of the season, only has 7 strikeouts. It's strong numbers right there. He's got 4 hits and 5 runs so far this season.
Now Colin Berg's going to stand in to take his hacks. To continue on with that particular story, we actually had a play in that game. I think it was runners at second and third, and a slowly hit ground ball to Paul DePino at third base. And he tried to get the runner at the plate, and he ended up making a bad throw. But in that instance, the hitter gets a fielder's choice because he would have been out at first, but no out being recorded. So it was actually funny that it happened the very same day we were talking about it. And the first delivery is going to miss the outside corner to Colin Berg. And for some reason, I just wrote down 2 pitches in my book. It must count as 2.
Colin Berg, it's tough to see with the helmet on, but once he takes that off, he's got we'll go with the word wild haircut rocking right now. He's got a huge mohawk, and his explanation was we were losing, something had to change, so he took it to the barber shop, and he just got work done up there.
As he fouls one off here, that gets out of play. And what does he do? I mean, they haven't even had a losing streak yet.
I would say it's only 2-2 right now. It can't be that bad that you have to
loss, win. I'm sorry, loss, win. What do you do when you have a losing streak if you're going
for
full
2
mohawk?
games. Yeah, 2 games in a row. Imagine what he's going to do there. But it's a sight to see right now. He's only DHing today, so it'll be tough to see. But if you get the opportunity to, it is quite the spectacle.
Checking on Doyle at second base, and the delivery swung on and missed by Berg, and he's down in the count of ball and 2 strikes. Berg playing in his 4th game this season. He's 4 for 11 so far, second on the team in hitting with a .364 average.
On base percentage, too, added that at .543, so he's no stranger to getting on.
He's only driven in 1 so far. He's in a good opportunity right here with the runner at second base and nobody out. Big lead by Doyle. Good job drawing the attention of the pitcher and the delivery home. Breaking ball, just missing up high. And it'll run the count even to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, second baseman Cody Klein really keeping Trevor Doyle honest there at second base. He keeps creeping over to that bag. He does not want him to take any sort of big lead right now. As you mentioned, Colin Berg, a powerful hitter, only 1 RBI on the season, but only 4 walks and 2 strikeouts too. So he definitely knows his way around the bat. As that one
And
will
a
get
little
down.
line drive into left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. We're going to see if they're going to send the runner. They won't, as Doyle had to hold up, as just making sure that ball wasn't caught by the shortstop with nobody out. So it's a good play. It's a good play if he catches it. It's you kind of like wish he would have broken if he doesn't catch it. But bases loaded with nobody out as Paul Nixon coming to the plate. Nixon did something no other Dodger player has done yet this season.
He went deep, and very deep. We've seen him in warm-ups with one hand hit home runs, but he picked up the first Dodger home run of the season just last game.
And I wanted to talk to him before today's game. I really did, because I was going to ask him about the fences out in Gaithersburg where he hit that home run. It was a solo shot in the first. Maybe it was the second inning. But he takes the first delivery up high for a ball.
He's got bases loaded right now, and Jake Rist on the mound here for the Braves, making his season debut. It's his 3rd year with the Braves, so he's been coming around the block a few times now. Went 0-2 last season with a 9.2 ERA, so he's definitely looking to improve.
And a fly ball out to left center field. Under it is Costello. He's going to make the catch and get the ball in towards third. Coming in to score is Trevor Doyle on the sacrifice fly by Paul Nixon. And you could tell Nixon just missed that. You could hear the yell.
Yep, he just got a little bit too far under it. He really wanted that one. That's the kind of bat right there you could drive in all of them.
Now batting from High Point University, number 10, Paul DePino.
And DePino, another returning Dodger, played last season here and appeared in 14 games before his season got cut short due to that gruesome injury. But so far this season, he's doing very well over at third base, appearing in his 5th game of the season, so all 5 so far, 3 runs, 3 hits, and 5 RBIs.
Wrist set, checking the runner at second base and coming home to DePino and delivering a strike.
DePino at High Point out of Jacksonville, Maryland, so a local kid does not come too far to play these games.
And DePino had himself a pretty good game in the win against Gaithersburg. Went 1 for 3, drove in a run. He also reached base via the walk. The 0-1 to him is going to miss up high and leaving the count at a ball and a strike.
Well, so far this game, it's been the exact opposite storyline of what the last time these two teams met up here, where all of a sudden the Dodgers are the one getting off to a big start in the first inning, and the Braves are caught slipping on their heels.
Now let's see if we can put a few more banana peels underneath the feet and get a few more runs on the board. As Wrist comes home. And that ball's going to miss down low. I've seen the pattern here early by Wrist. Out of the windup, he works very quickly.
I was about to say that.
But so far in the stretch, he really slows the game down, even with just a runner at second base, where they're maybe not as big of a threat to run. There's D. Shelton out there at second now.
I mean, look at second right now. Second baseman right there, Cody Klein, is just feet away from the bag. They are not letting these runners get any big leads whatsoever, leaving a huge gap there at second base.
And Paul DePino taking a breaking ball for a strike. Whoever's running the scoreboard just got a little presumptuous. They went from 2-1 to 3-1 before the umpire made the strike call and had to reset it. Paul DePino thought it was a ball as well, but now the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yep.
Wind blowing out to right here at Joe Cannon Stadium. Fastball's going to miss up high. Full count. Something we haven't seen a lot of. It's been pretty dead at Joe Cannon. Actually, a nice cloudless sky today where it's been extremely overcast. It's not too hot.
No, it's beautiful outside.
It's a fantastic day. We don't even have the air conditioning on in the booth. I mean, that's how nice it is. Just windows open. It's a fantastic day for baseball. As both middle infielders now getting close to Shelton. And the delivery. That's going to miss. And the bases are loaded again for the Dodgers, this time with Nick Graham the opportunity.
Now batting from Millersville University, number 13, Nick Graham.
And The Dodgers like to get a little bit of rotation at catcher. They really bounce between Colin Berg and Nick Graham. Both of them playing today. Colin Berg at the DH spot. They bumped Paul Nixon out of there and put Brandon McManus on the bench. But Nick Graham going to be a senior, so one of the veterans on this team. First year with the Dodgers, but he definitely brings a lot of experience to the table when you're walking this building as a senior.
Yeah, he's going to be playing at Millersville College next year. Played at South Carolina. Now, that's not the Gamecocks, but he played at South Carolina last year. Played in 43 games and hit 306, so had himself a pretty good when I say last year, I mean like a few months ago.
Yeah, a few weeks ago. Let's get there.
Right, in the school season. But had himself a pretty good college season, got rewarded to go play at Millersville. So I'm sure he's excited about that, and I'm excited to see what he can do with the bases loaded here in just one away.
Yep, Nick Graham, quite the journeyman, also spent a season at Penn State back in his freshman year, so he has bounced around, landing his third team of his career so far.
Yeah, and this just his second game for the Dodgers. Does have 1 RBI in that previous game, and he went on the Cuba trip.
That's what I was, yeah.
For the Nittany Lions.
Had a 100 batting average and on-base percentage in Penn State's trip to Cuba back in 2015. He had a double, a walk, and a hit by pitch. So really covered all the bases right there.
Well, at least 2 of the bases.
Yeah. Getting out of the hit by pitch and a walk and then the hit itself.
And a pop-up out behind us. We'll see if that hits us or not. Nope. Oh, there it is. That one must have landed directly on our heads. That one was loud. So he's down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes. His wrist trying to work his way out of a jam. He's working from the windup currently.
Yep, he's getting right into it, not working the stretch at all. He's right there, ready to go.
And the delivery. Hard line drive in the left. That's going to get down for a base hit. Coming in to score from third is Shelton. Rounding third, now being held, is Colin Berg, as the throw was offline, but it was a little bit too risky with just 1 away. But the Dodgers now have a 2-0 lead on the second RBI of the season by Nick Graham.
And you know what? That's an excellent decision right there by Colin Berg. Colin Berg walking out to Dixieland Delight. Excellent song choice, if I do say so myself. But Colin Berg there, getting up to third there, looked home for a moment. It's a good thing he held off because that was a great throw from the left fielder, Tim Johnson, all the way home to the catcher, Bryce Leisure. Held him without getting there.
And a ground ball to the right side. That's going to get another run home, as it was not hit hard enough to double up Jake Ruby. So he reaches on a fielder's choice and brings home Colin Berg from third base. The Dodgers now with a 3-0 lead as Dario Torres looks to keep things going with 2 away.
Now batting, West Virginia Institute of Technology, number 22, Dario Torres.
And the runs are just pouring on here for the Dodgers, 3-0. We're getting almost identical to the last time these two teams faced off, except the entire storyline is flip-flopped.
Yeah, I'll take a script flipped on this one for sure. The runners at the corners and 2 away for Torres. Torres, if he can channel what he did in Game 2 against the Redbirds, I'll take a 2-run triple here. The breaking ball is going to miss. Must have been a little bit high because I thought it got the plate.
Yep, Torres really keen to play against that Redbirds game. Let it off with a double just to bring some runs in. But the last time he faced off against these Braves, he had 4 at-bats and 4 strikeouts. 2 looking, 2 swinging. So definitely looking to redeem himself tonight.
Turn in the throw to check on Ruby. He's back safely with the dive. West Virginia University Institute of Technology.
That's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful. As Torres awaits the 1-0, that's going to miss up and away.
He's got runners at the corners, man in scoring position right now. Torres so far this season, he's got 2 hits and 4 RBIs, so he may not have the greatest batting average at 133, but when runners are in scoring positions, he can get the job done.
So he waits the 2-0 from wrist. Here it comes. Fouls one back to the chain link fence behind the home plate area. 2 balls and 1 strike on the Dodger right fielder.
And 2 batters away from going through the entire lineup as Taj Porter is batting in the hole.
As wrist delivers the 2-1, and that's in the dirt. Wrist in danger of walking the bases loaded yet again.
It does not seem like tonight's can be Jake Riss's night. Season debut, not off to the start he dreamt. 3 runs already.
Looks like they may be sending a pitcher down to get ready. Runner goes as the ball fouled away, and the runner's going to go again. Ruby's going to have to trot back to first base, but this time with a full count and 2 away, the runner at first base will be off at the pitch.
And there's definitely some activity right now in that Braves dugout. Pieces and people are moving right now, and it looks like they're getting some arms warmed up as Jake Riss is really struggling up at the mound.
We'll see if Torres can make his day a little bit more miserable with this 3-2 pitch. And it's on the way. And a swing and a miss. Torres goes down on strikes, leaves a couple of runners stranded. But the Dodgers, they put 3 on the board as we head to the second inning. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. And we're back for the second inning of play as Vinny Costello is going to lead things off for the Braves, trying to get some things going as they trail 3-0.
Yep, Vinny Costello playing out there in right there center field this season. This will be a 6th appearance for the Braves. He's got 4 runs and 2 hits so far, but 7 strikeouts.
And he hits one deep to left, and I'm going to give this a little bit of emphasis, but it's well foul. Just trying to scare you a little bit if you're a Dodgers fan.
That one never looked like I had a chance there.
Because I know you can't see the ball when it gets that far. You can barely see the ball when it's delivered. 1-1. That's in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nice pitch there by Cook. Coming right back at him after a long foul ball.
Vinny Costello, another Hofstra Pride player, going to be a junior in the fall.
And Cook coming inside and making Vinny Castillo feel very uncomfortable. And I said Castillo, I meant Costello. The 2-2, it's a breaking ball. Good hold there by Costello. It was a good breaking ball. Buckled the knees a little bit, but the bat didn't come.
Yep, and Costello comes from quite the athletic background. His father played baseball at LSU.
And Cook loses him, walking the leadoff batter here as he had that 1-2 count. And now he's got a runner at first base and nobody away. Is Dakota Graham's going to lead things? No,
second up.
He's going to lead his way to the plate. And
Dakota Graham, another player who in his last game here against the Dodgers inflicted quite a bit of damage. Picked up a run and a hit at 2 at-bats, so he definitely got his money's worth.
Now squaring to bunt there and pulling back, taking down low for a ball.
Dakota playing at Wilmington University. Originally played at Eastern Kentucky but transferred.
Throw over to first base and getting back safely was Costello.
And here we go again. All of a sudden, it looks like right off the bat, Paul Nixon at first is having real difficulty with the sun at first base. He's using that glove to block it. So any throws right now, if they're not right at the glove for Paul Nixon at first, it's going to be a hell of a lot harder for him to get it to it.
And a bunt is right back to the pitcher. Cook looked to go to second base, but instead goes to first to record the out. Dakota Graham retired on the sacrifice bunt. And runner at second base with one away with Cody Klein coming to the plate. Blech.
Cody Klein, that second baseman we saw lingering over at second base when he's on defense from Mars Hill College. He's got, this will be his 6th game of the season, 2 runs, 2 hits, and no RBIs. Trying to get his first RBI of the season with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, he scored both of those runs in yesterday's ball game, going 1 for 2, and also reaching via the walk. And stole a base as well as he takes a fastball in there for a strike. His best game for Mars Hill College came February 27th against Lake Erie. He went 3 for 5, scored a pair of runs, doubled, homered, and drove in 4. So he's certainly capable of driving in runs. The 0-1 is in there for a strike.
And it looks like the Dodgers right now on defense, Taj Porter and D. Shelton are giving Cody Klein a taste of his own medicine. They are really crowding that bag right there, not letting him get a big lead off at all.
Shadows here in between home and first base, and if you've ever tried to play baseball in that condition, you can tell it's it's extremely difficult to kind of see the ball as it goes from light to dark, light to dark. So the 0-2 is going to miss up high.
Yep, that sun coming down right now, going left to right here, really getting in the first baseman, right field, and second baseman's eyes.
Cook will set at the belt and check the runner at second base. Nice lead out there, and the 1-2 is going to just miss hitting the batter. It's Cook a couple times trying to work in, but works a little too far in and almost plunks him. Don't want to give up free bases here. We've already given up 1 with that walk out at second base.
Yeah, you got 1 out. Take control of the situation right here, and don't let this Braves team right back in the game so early.
The 2-2. Nice curveball, and backing out of there was Cody Klein. He was absolutely fooled as he was stepping away as the pitch was delivered.
Yep, he had no idea what was going on there. And that's exactly what we need out of Stephen Cook right there. Stephen Cook played an excellent game 6 days ago, giving up just 2 runs over 5 innings and had 4 strikeouts. And right there, 1 out, all of a sudden you make a 2-out ball game and plays at first.
Wind picking up here as we've got some starched flags out there in center. Breaking ball, that's going to catch the outside corner. Nice pitch there by Cook as Devin Mangum, the designated hitter for the Braves, stands in.
Magnum, just like Cody Klein, who just batted before him, also at Mars Hill College. Both of them from North Carolina as well. Magnum from Black Mountain, North Carolina.
Now, this is something you don't really necessarily want to see with 2 away, and that's your shortstop playing games. He's dancing around behind the runner at second base, and the last thing you really want, you've got 2 away. All you need to do is get the batter. You don't need to worry about the runner whatsoever. It's the 0-1 fouled off there, by the way. Just stay in your position, because the last thing you need is to be leaning the wrong way and a slow dribbler gets through because your feet aren't set. So don't worry about the runner. Just play your position and get this last out.
And we've seen D. Shelton this season so far have issues of not getting the ball from his mitt to first base in key situations. And right now, he is way over to the right, as you see on your screen. If he just can knock himself a few steps to his right and our left, be in much better position for a simple routine ground ball to get the out at first.
Yeah, and Cook is bringing gas, so down here at the 7 part of the lineup, we're not expecting anybody to really necessarily turn on the ball as much as they were in the first part. The 1-2 is fouled off down towards the Dodger bullpen and out of play.
Just as you said, turn on the ball right there, right down the left field line.
Well, from a left-handed hitter,
yeah.
though, so he is well behind that fastball from Stephen Cook. So I think that hole on the left side is more dangerous than the runner trying to steal third here with 2 away. As D. Shelton is shading up the middles. Now he gets back into position. And a pop-up to the left side. We've seen some problems with this as DePino settles under it and makes the catch for out number 3. So regardless of a leadoff walk, the Dodgers retire the Braves without a runner coming across. We're going to head to the bottom of the 2nd. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. back here for the bottom of the second inning. The Baltimore Dodgers with a 3-0 lead over the Herndon Braves. A bit of a role reversal here.
Yep. And Taj Porter making his debut tonight. Porter, second-year man with the Dodgers, just played at Pasco Hernando Junior College, originally from Louisiana.
I actually have a note here that it's actually now State College.
State College.
It's now called State College. I will.
It's going to really change things for them over at Pasco Hernando.
I'll tell you exactly. It wasn't that long ago, if I remember correctly. It was 2014. Changed their name from Pasco Hernando Community College to Pasco Hernando State College in 2014. As Taj Porter ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. And a little fister out behind short. That could get down as the left fielder coming in, and he actually makes it look easy as Johnson makes the catch for out number 1. I was about to say, Taj Porter looks like he slimmed down a little bit from last year. Last year he looked almost like an Adrian Beltre kind of body type, and now a little bit slimmer.
Yep, he's listed at 5'9", 195, so there's definitely a lot of punch behind that 5'9" right there frame.
A couple of home runs last year for the Dodgers, and now we're back to the top of the order.
He had a pair of home runs last season for the Dodgers.
None of them were here, so they don't count.
Yep, that's no good for us.
They don't count if they don't happen here. As we will say and continue to say, this is one of the bigger stadiums in the Cal Ripken League. 310 down the lines. Now, I don't know the exact dimensions of some of the other stadiums, but
they're not 410 deep center field.
And 380 to the power alleys. First 2 pitches to Doyle missing.
Doyle got home in his first at bat back in the first inning. Seems like that's so long ago, only an inning ago, but able to get on with the single.
And now ahead to count 3 balls and no strikes. He singled to lead off the game. And takes a fastball right down the middle.
Yep, I was able to talk to Doyle only last week, and we talked about the biggest difference he had coming in from being a senior in high school to playing this kind of summer league. And he said it's just the speed of the game. It's just you cannot, put a finger on it. All of a sudden, how fast everything goes when you make that jump in the level.
And he's on first base with the walk here, so second time on base for him. And I like how he just dropped the bat at home plate.
Mm-hmm.
I love when they do that. I used to play, being that I'm in my 30s now and can no longer hang with these guys. I was playing in a co-ed slow-pitch softball league as D. Shelton takes a fastball up high. I was playing in a co-ed slow-pitch softball league, and we had one of the girls on our team, when she would take a walk, she would drop the bat at home plate. Like this is a slow pitch softball league, adult softball league, and she's like dropping it at home plate like she's got a bat boy coming to pick it up or something like that.
I had to retire from my softball league this summer, and I missed the boys back there. But I think the greatest thing is those umpires, one thing they do not mess around with is that all those bats better be in the dugout. If they see one bat laying out, that game's coming to a halt.
Make sure those stamps are correct, whether it's ASA or USSSA.
Never got that advanced in my league.
Breaking ball in there for a strike, even in the count of a ball and a strike. We've been informed that Ryan Remo from Fordham warming up for the Braves.
If Jake Rist here is able to get out of this situation right now and get out of the inning without any earned runs, you'd think he'd probably be able to stick in for another one.
Shelton's knees buckle at the 1-1 breaking ball. Yeah, we'll see. He threw a lot of pitches in the first. And we'll see what
his arm's got to be as fresh as it
do.
can be, though. He hasn't pitched once this season.
Yeah, just the 1 inning on it so far. 1-2, fouled back into the screen. We'll keep the count right where it's at a ball and 2 strikes.
D. Shelton drew a walk back in the first inning, able to score off that walk, which picked up his 6th run of the season. speedy guy that if you get him on base, he can definitely hurt you.
And the 1-2. And that's going to miss up high, evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Dodgers' offense has not really been an issue this year. Almost 8 hits a game averaging and 7.5 runs per game.
We've seen them come to play. Talk about those 10 runs in that Redbirds game. Huge win for them. Only loss of the season so far for the Redbirds. That one's going to go foul to the right side here. But like just about every single player on this field, there is quite the athletic background that comes with them. D. Shelton, his father, played at Northern Alabama. He was drafted by the Chicago Cubs in the 17th round of 1986. So there's a lot of good genes on this field right now. You look at the background of all these players. There's someone in every family history that played college or pro ball somewhere.
2-2 pitch. That's going to miss up and away. Yeah, you're talking about good genes. Talk about a lot of talented players coming from good programs, too. When I'm doing my notes, you know, there's so many that you've got to take. For every team in the league, there's like 30 players. So you're talking about 300 players that you're doing notes for, plus usually a little bit more than that.
Yep.
3-2 pitch. That's going to miss up high, back-to-back walks, and that might spell the end.
Way to work himself out of a 1-2 count right there just a moment ago, and just a terrific eye by D. Shelton to be patient and not feel the need to swing at a pitch doesn't like despite having 2 strikes on him. Back-to-back walks to start the inning here for Jake Rist, and I think the clock's about to strike midnight for this Cinderella story of a pitcher who's not going to get more than an inning of more than 2 innings potentially.
I'll continue the story about notes. The first delivery to Berg, who squares the bunt and takes a strike. Now, I was saying, you know, there's so many notes that you have to take. At some point, you know, early on when I first started, I was like writing all these different championships and conference championships and regional championships from high school. Till you get to the point where I'd say about 95% of the players on the field have multiple conference and regional championships in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So it's when you start seeing state titles that actually start to matter in the notes.
Yep, and it's funny you brought that up because when I do these notes too, if I wrote down all conference awards for each player, I'd run out of ink because every single one of these players just comes with a huge laundry list of awards.
That's in the dirt, and Colin Berg able to hold up. But yeah, the all-conference, all-region, that kind of stuff.
They all have all-conference, all-regional. Every now and then you see a state champion. And there's a few state champions out here. He's not playing tonight, but Damon LaFond, one of the pitchers, he may come in later. He was a football state champion down in Texas. So that really says a lot about Texas especially.
Yeah, if you can win the state of Texas in high school football, that is big.
Mm-hmm. All the way from Refugio, Texas, a really small town. Just outside of Corpus Christi, excuse me. Christi.
I think you were right the first time.
Corpus Christi all the way down there by the border. Crispy just sounded a little better.
Corpus Crispy?
Yeah.
That actually kind of sounds like a dark sense of humor. Corpus Crispy? We're sorry for that interlude. 3-1 pitch in there for a strike. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count on Colin Berg. Now let's see. You got good speed on the bases. Do you send the runners 3-2? Colin Berg, not a big strikeout guy.
You got 1 out, so obviously you don't have to. I'd be a little more conservative here. You don't want to make any mistakes.
Just 2 strikeouts in 11 at bats. So I mean, I don't know. I like putting the runners in motion, to be honest, but not a huge lead out there at second.
Look at Cody Klein there at second base. He is really creeping in once again. Really holding back Trevor Doyle there at second. We'll get time called.
And his wrist holding the ball a little bit too long for Colin Berg's liking. As you mentioned, Doyle doing a little steppity step.
Yeah,
it wasn't really a dance. It was just kind of a...
They're doing the salsa all day long so far at second base on both sides here. Colin Berg only 2 strikeouts on the season, batting .364.
Chopper towards third. There's not a lot of space there. And holding
there he is.
So what just happened there is because Gauthier was so worried about the runner at second base, he gave up so much distance out towards that bag at second base that slow chopper was able to – Berg was going to be able to beat that out no problem. But holding up on the play was Trevor Doyle. He almost didn't need to do that because he probably could have passed the ball before it hit him. But it may have caused Gauthier to drop the ball, as it looked like he might have gone to third base to try and get Doyle.
And Doyle right off the bat there, taking quite the charge at home plate. But he'll retreat back to the bag. We got bases loaded here for the Dodgers. And
Yeah,
Paul
for,
Nixon, the guy I want up to bat right now, that's why he's batting the 4.
Second consecutive inning, he's been up with the bases loaded.
Yeah, sacrifice fly back in the first. What are you going to do this time?
Breaking ball almost getting over the head of Leisure is you never like it when the catcher has to leave his feet to make a catch.
Mm-hmm.
Evens accounted a ball and a strike.
Nixon looking to get his 5th hit of the season. He's got 4 RBIs, and he wants to add to that list right now, batting .286 so far.
Does that 4 include the sacrifice fly in the first?
No, we're going to add to that now.
It's
5.
5 now.
You're
So
right.
let's see what he can do with to maybe get his 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. But I think that's in his head a little bit too much, as that first pitch he swung at was a letter-high fastball. He's certainly anxious to see if he can hit a grand slam. That would be fantastic to see. No Dodger has ever hit a grand slam. The 2-1, it's a fastball that's going to miss outside.
It's crazy. You look at Paul Nixon, he's listed as a pitcher. I don't think he'll ever step in the mound once this season.
I'm not sure if he will.
But he's a pitcher on the roster, and so that first game when I said, excuse me, why is your pitcher being your designated hitter back in that first game? And this is why. He's 6'3", 220, and knows how to hit the baseball.
As he awaits the 3-1. That's going to miss outside, and he's going to drive in another run, this time with a walk, and the bases will remain loaded with 1 away, and Paul DePino coming to the plate.
And that may just end the night for Jake Rist on the mound. Ryan Ramiro, we talked about him warming up right now in the bullpen. Doesn't look like they're going to bring him out right now. Bases loaded, 1 out, and it looks like we're going to get a little pep talk here from the manager. And that
Very likely a pitching change.
I may have just jinxed it right there.
5 walks in 1 1/3 innings for Rist, and he's holding the baseball and gives it to his manager. And coming in,
Yep, there it
is Remo from the bullpen. So we're going to be back right after this, after he throws his warm-up pitches. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. right, new pitcher on the mound, Ryan Remo for the Herndon Braves. He's going to come in a sticky situation. Bases loaded, one away, and Paul DePino at the plate.
Yep, DePino last at bat was walked. Was able to get the second before the inning was retired.
I got him at third.
You got him at third?
Yep, he moved to third on the Jake Ruby fielder's choice.
Yep.
Not that that's a huge.
Yep, that put runners in the corners.
Not that that's a huge detail.
5 games so. This will be his 5th game so far this season.
Chopper just foul, and well, I guess Shelton knew that it was going to be foul, but he kind of stood there, and if that ball kicks back fair, they got the easy force at the plate. So maybe next time, take off. Any ball hit on the ground right there.
Yep, and we talked about this earlier. Paul DePino III, another player who's got some family lineage that goes back to baseball. His father played for the Idaho Falls Braves rookie league team.
And his grandfather actually played for the U.S. national soccer team. So
yep.
Quite a bit of athleticism.
The list just keeps going on and on with these players and their family backgrounds of where they played.
I'll be honest, I think for me, those are the funnest things to look at, just to see, what family member played or plays in what sport and for what team.
And that's what's always fun when the Redbirds come into town, because we get to see a whole list of, Hackenberg, names go on and on.
The 0-1's going to miss up and in.
Mikowski.
3 runners on base currently, all the responsibility of Jake Rist. Remo obviously not wanting to saddle his starter with too many more. Remo making his second appearance of the summer. Only went 1 2/3 innings in a game earlier this year. That was against the Aces on June 10th. There's a swing and a miss here by DePino.
He is making his second season with the Braves, though. Was here last year, had 8 games, had an ERA of 4.35, and picked up 13 strikeouts and 6 walks over 10 1/3 innings.
Corners in for the Braves. Is trying to cut down the run at the plate here. Middle infield's playing for that double play. Now, with the corners in, if I'm Nixon, it's a swing and a miss. It's not going to matter, as DePino down on strikes. The first strikeout by Remo.
Yep, and that's a huge strikeout there. All of a sudden, you've got 2 outs, plays at first, takes a lot of pressure off Remo, who came into the situation, and when he didn't want to be with bases loaded and 1 out, but you pick up a huge strikeout there, and you put Nick Graham up to bat, who hasn't had a whole lot of experience this season. All of a sudden, Remo took a bad situation to a workable situation.
Now, I was going to say that Nixon wasn't getting a huge lead over at first base. With the first baseman playing in front of the first base bag, you want your runner to get a big lead out there so that he can potentially break up any sort of ground ball double play. But it doesn't matter. DePino not putting the ball in play and leaving things up to his catcher, Nick Graham, as he takes a delivery in there for a strike.
Yeah, back to Remo, though. Played football and baseball, in high school. Was an honor roll student and is a mathematics major over in New York at Fordham University, originally from New Jersey. And he's quite a large fella. He's at 6'3", 210, the right-hander. So up in that mound, that's quite the intimidating thing to look up the bat from.
Graham now down to the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Took an off-speed pitch that was in there. The 0-2. That's in the dirt. Doesn't get quite far enough away from Leisure for the runner at third, D. Shelton, to come home and score. But it does put Graham back in the count at a ball and 2 strikes.
Yep, 2 strikes. You got to defend the plate here, especially with bases loaded right here. You don't want to go down looking with bases loaded.
And Dodgers with a chance to kind of break things open with a base hit here. The 1-2. Swing and off the glove of Leisure, as just getting a piece of that was Graham.
Yep, and that's one of Graham's 9 lives right there. He got lucky that Leisure was unable to hold on to that one, or else that would have ended the inning.
Run at third base is Shelton. He reached via the walk. At second base, Colin Berg. He's had an infield single, and Paul Nixon drove in a run with a walk. And that's where we stand, the 1-2, and that's going to miss up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
2-2 count here. You can be a little more patient. You still got to defend this plate with bases loaded especially. But Remo just coming off the bench right now. He may not be throwing his best stuff, so definitely look down the ball and make sure it's a pitch you want to swing at.
Now's a good chance to look for that fastball because you don't want to go 3-2. And there's the fastball, but a swing and a miss. And Graham down on strikes, and Remo coming in and putting out fires as he strikes out the 2 batters he faces to strand the bases loaded. The Dodgers get 1, and they lead it 4-0, but it could have been a whole lot bigger. We'll be back for the 3rd. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. And we're back for the 3rd inning of play. Rob Stadnick alongside Matthew Peterson. I have to think about it every time.
3 of us here, 3 Matthews in the booth.
I'm like, which one? As Jeff Stuke's going to lead things off and swing and miss at the first delivery from Stephen Cook. Stephen Cook rolling right along, just 1 over the minimum through 2.
Yep, Jeff Stuke going to be a junior out of Dayton. Going to be a flyer, originally from Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin, 6'2", 220 pounds. Appearing in his 5th game so far. Hasn't had the most successful at-bats. Still looking for his first hit of the season. He's got 6 strikeouts and 2 walks so far.
And a fastball missing right there. I was going to say the 0-1 pitch made him look a little bit foolish. So if those were the swings that he's been having so far this year, as he chops one foul wide of third base, if those are the swings he's been getting this year, you can see why he is yet to collect a hit.
Yep, and if you go back to Dayton, appeared in 19 games, only picked up 2 hits there. One of them was a double, though, so he's no stranger to it, but it's definitely been a while since he's gotten on base with a hit.
As the 1-2 breaking ball got the inside corner. I didn't see them pulling the trigger right away, but they do get the call on that inside corner, that little front door breaking ball, and that's the 3rd looking strikeout for Stephen Cook.
Yep, make it 7 total strikeouts on the season, and the hitless streak continues. But up now is Tim Johnson. Johnson in left field, out of St. Joseph's University, from Annandale, Virginia.
And a swing and a miss of the letter high fastball.
And back in that June 6th game between these 2 teams, Tim Johnson only had 2 at-bats, or 2 strikeouts. He's a computer science major, and his brother played football at Glenville State College in West Virginia. So while we're talking about those family lineage, we'll add another one right there.
The 0-1 missing low, and the 1-1 swung on and missed. As Tim Johnson down on the count, no balls, or a ball and 2 strikes. I literally just said it. And working quickly, chopper towards short. Shelton's going to have to wait for it and hurry with the throw, and he does just get him at first base. As that high chopper, Shelton had to wait, but he's able to make the quick throw back to first base to record the out.
Yep, great patience and composure by D. Shelton right there. He knew he had to wait on that ball, which means he had no time to waste, and firing it off all the way from short to first, and was able to record the out. A big out right there, pick up 2, helping out his pitcher right there, Stephen Cook. So far, Cook throwing a no-hitter. If you want to, just stealing things out from you right now, Rob. If you want to,
He didn't steal anything, but you said those words in the third inning.
well,
Come
you know,
on,
it's a third inning. You're right. It's a little premature, but it makes things exciting in a Cal Ripken League summer game.
Let's get to the sixth inning before we try and jinx those things. I am one of those media guys that likes to refuse to say those types of things, and you're just like, hey, he's got a no-hitter. Hey,
I am
check
just
that out.
looking at the stat sheet right now and going, oh, we've yet to get a hit so far today.
First 2 deliveries in there for a strike as Norwood looking to break that up. The 0-2 hit a line
There
drive
you
up the middle for a base hit, and thank you very much, Matthew Peterson, for that base hit by Brett Norwood.
That's the curse of the broadcaster.
That's why I don't say it. You just blurt it out in the third inning. So Austin Gauthier is going to stand in, and he's going to ground out to the pitcher because that no-hitter's broken up now, and we can get down to business.
Yep, Gauthier went out looking back in the first inning. And Paul Nixon at first base really struggling with that sun. He's using his hand and his glove to block it.
Yeah, see, I would
there
runner
goes the runner.
goes. Little chopper to the left side. Here comes DePino. He's going to pick it up. He's going to fake the throw to first base, and now back-to-back hits. Thank you, Matthew Peterson, for the Braves.
When you full name me, it sounds like I'm in trouble right there. Glad you don't know my middle name, but Bryce Leisure up to bat here, and the Dodgers in a little bit of a jam here. We got 2 on board, but 2 outs, so plays at first, but force outs anywhere but home.
So that ball not particularly well hit, but just placed in the right spot. Gets runners on base. Smart decision by DePino not to throw the baseball.
Yeah, that would have been a tough throw, and that could advance the runner if it's not on target. Yeah, we talked about Paul Nixon really struggling at first base right now, dealing with the sun. So any kind of tough throw is going to be really difficult for him to make.
Yeah, if he couldn't see it, honestly, the first base coach also shielding his eyes. They could have put a little hidden ball trick there. He would have been like, oh, I can't see, and then run down to the, like he missed it. The first base coach wouldn't have known any better.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't have been able to say, no, hold up. Breaking ball outside corner for a strike. A ball and 2 strikes now on Bryce Leisure. He grounded to third his last time. Could use one of those here because DePino could just take his time and step on the bag at third base.
Leisure's got 1 RBI in the season. Hopefully does not pick up a second, but he's got a runner in scoring position at the moment. Out of Citadel, he's on the all-freshman team 2 seasons ago. And he had a run and a hit last time these 2 teams squared off back on June 6th.
The 1-1. That's in the dirt. Good block there by Graham and a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Leisure rated the number 9 catcher in the state of South Carolina when he came out in 2016.
Originally from Simpsonville, South Carolina.
That's your favorite
Yep, I was
city
about to say, I
name?
don't know if you remember that now.
As Cook will come set, and he'll come home. Hard ground ball to the left side, past Nixon for a base hit. Norwood's rounding third, he's being waved home. Here comes the throw. It is not in time. There's a good slide there by Brett Norwood. And 3 consecutive hits for the Braves puts them on the board. It's now 4-1 Dodgers.
Yep, and Brett Norwood has a pair of wheels beneath him. We saw back in that first game in the opening debut here for the Dodgers, Norwood was able to get from first to home all on stolen bases and just heads-up baseball, and he was off with the wind as soon as this ball was thrown. And he goes all the way from second to home with time to spare.
Time called at the plate as Vinny Costello standing in. He walked his last time to lead off the second inning. We'll see if Cook can settle down here after Matthew here jinxed him. That pitch just missing the inside corner.
Yep, 4-1 ball game now for the Dodgers. Vinny Costello playing center field. Another Hofstra Pride member on this team.
And that pitch missing down low. So now Cook having difficulty finding the strike zone against Costello.
Costello is a highly recruited player coming out of high school down in Pompano Beach, Florida. Was recruited by Central Florida, Jacksonville, Alabama, and Ole Miss, but eventually chose Hofstra for home for the next 4 years.
And the throw over to first to check on the runner. Kind of dangerous in this situation with a runner at third base. But they do complete the play properly, and the 2-0 is a breaking ball, hung a little bit, and Leisure pulling it hard and foul. Leisure hitting just 200 on the young season. But he's at first base, so that doesn't really matter. I was reading the right numbers, but I was saying the wrong name. Costello, excuse me, batting 200 on the young season. 3 hits and 15 at-bats. The 2-1, a breaking ball. It's going to miss down low. A good eye at the plate there for Costello. You'd imagine he would have gotten a chase there. I certainly thought that that pitch was worthy of a chase.
And he's got 3 walks and 7 strikeouts on the season.
And a fastball hit high in the air out to right. Torres coming in. He should call off his second baseman, and he does, and makes the catch. Scary there for a minute. But they do record that final out, but 3 consecutive hits for the Braves puts them on the board. The Dodgers still lead this one 4-1 as we head to the 4th. I'm going to turn things over to Matthew Peterson because I didn't do that the last time. But I'm going to turn things over to him to go the next 3 innings. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball.
And welcome back into Dodger baseball here as Jake Ruby is leading things off here for the Dodgers. Hoping to extend this 4-1 lead here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Ruby was able to reach first base on a fielder's choice back in the 1st inning. And the pitch. That one's in the dirt, way outside a fastball. Ruby didn't like it for a good reason.
Yeah, I mean, I would certainly say it's a good reason. If you're swinging at that one, you're not seeing the ball very well.
Ruby has not had a lot of playing time this season so far. He's getting the start tonight out in left field. It's only his 2nd game of the season, but in that one game he had a hit, an RBI, and 2 strikeouts.
Well, he joined the team a little bit late. He was coming from Ohio State, and they had a little thing called regionals and that kind of stuff to take care of. So he didn't get here until he wasn't actually here all the games that we did. He didn't come until after that weekend.
Yep, he made his first start at Ohio State, last game of the season actually. But he's a 2-time football state champion out of Groveport, Ohio. And he takes a strike right there. Puts his first strike on the board right there. 3-1 count now for Ruby. No one on base, no outs. And his father played for Toledo and was drafted by the Cincinnati Reds. And the pitch. That one's deep inside. He'll walk to first one. He walked to first base there. And up now is Dario Torres, who struck out back in the first inning.
Good at bat there by Jake Ruby, not chasing anything out of the zone, waiting for his pitch. He actually squared to bunt one time, and just working that walk, getting the first base run of the game on Remo.
Torres, the 0-0 pitch here. He's going to look to bunt right off the bat, and he'll take a strike right there. So 0-1 for Torres with a man on first right now. Torres out of Parkville, Maryland. He's going to be a junior in the fall. He's bounced around a little bit. Originally started out playing at Iowa Southern Junior College, and then eventually transferred to where he is now at West Virginia Institute of Technology. And the 0-1 pitch, and that one way outside. Slow ball there. Levels the count at 1-1.
Yeah, Dodgers look to be working the count a little bit better so far in this time out against Remo.
And a swing and miss there by Torres. Torres had a rough start, I mentioned earlier. Last time he played, these Braves had 4 strikeouts, 2 looking, 2 swinging. And he's picked up his 5th one, so 5 straight strikeouts against the Braves. Hoping to break that streak with his at-bat right here with a man on first. And the pitch right there, just a bit outside.
And as I mentioned, being a little bit more, as I mentioned, they were being a little bit more patient. He swings at a pitch in the dirt.
2-2 count here for Torres. And that one, he will rip that one right down the third baseline. Keeps it at 2-2 though. No outs for the Dodgers. They've got a man on first after a walk by Jake Ruby, if you're just joining us. Dodgers got out to a 4-1 lead back in the first inning thanks to some hits and some walks. But after 3 straight hits by the Braves, able to cut the deficit down to 3 in the last inning. That one's a pop fly, and looks like it's going to go out of play. We're going to hear it. There it is. This is not your major league ballpark. The friendly confines of Joe Cannon Stadium are quite small and quite friendly, though. So anything played back, you hear quite loud.
I like the booth.
The booth is just a little bird's eye view right now, right over the first plate, right over the home plate.
You've got the exact view we do, except maybe it's a little smaller on your screen. Got to use that wide-angle lens.
2-2 pitch here. He'll swing at that one, another foul ball. That's 3 straight foul balls for Torres. So he's seeing the ball. He's just not quite getting the timing down.
Well, he just tried to kill Paul Nixon with that little chopper. Nixon having to duck out of the way. He's showing off his teammates how his reflexes are over there on the in the dugout. Or I shouldn't say in the dugout. I should say standing outside the dugout near the fence.
Ryan Remo on the mound now came in relief of Jake. Oh, and looking to go back there at first base was a diving Jake Ruby there.
Ruby took a false step towards second base, and the umpire, I will tell you this, he was ready to call him out. He had hand cocked. He was ready to go. But the throw was a little bit offline, and Ruby able to get back safely.
A generous lead by Ruby right there at first base. 2-2 count here. And the pitch, and there goes Ruby. It's a ball, and Ruby's going to get to second, no problemo. As he picks up a stolen base right there. And it'll be Jake Ruby's first stolen base of the season here in the second game of the season. But we still have Torres at bat at a 3-2 count now after that ball in the dirt.
Those are the best ones to run on.
Mm-hmm.
They're not
Got
throwing
the timing right.
They're not going to throw you out ever.
And the full count now for Torres and the pitch. And that one's going to go outside. And what great patience by Torres. Let's rewind a little bit. He was at 2-2, and after 3 straight foul balls, he knows to weigh down the pitch right there. Doesn't like it. Takes 2 balls. And all of a sudden, he's at first, and up to bat now is Taj Porter. Taj Porter flew out into left field in the second inning, but he's got runners on base. He's got a runner in scoring position at second and a man on first. The lefty returning for a second season with the Dodgers. And the pitching, look at the bunt. That's going to go right up to the right pitcher.
Nobody
and Remo
covering
didn't.
first.
No one covering first. Wow, first baseman right there, Jeff Stuke. It was way out in no man's land, and he came in to play that one. Couldn't quite get a handle on it. And second baseman right there, Cody Klein, not covering first base. And we've got bases loaded, heads-up base running right there on all sides of the Dodgers.
So that's going to go down as a hit. Mental errors count as hits. So the first hit of the young season for Taj Porter.
And batting now, leadoff hitter Trevor Doyle. Trevor has scored twice already in the first and the second inning after being walked and getting a hit. He's got bases loaded here, and that one would go. Second baseman Cody Klein able to get that one to get the out, but that would be an RBI for Trevor Doyle, and the Dodgers keep on scoring. Their lead extends to 5-1 now. After that RBI from Trevor Doyle, the slow dribble to second was enough to get Jake Ruby home. And D. Shelton now up to bat. He's got runners in scoring position with no force out on the field.
Yeah, it looks like the Braves are going to bring the infield in. Just as I was going to say, another slow ground ball like that can get another run in. Well, if it's slow like that, it probably will. But now with the infield in, it's going to be a little harder.
And the pitch right there makes it a 1-0 count here for D. Shelton. D. Shelton, just like Trevor Doyle, except he was walked both at bats so far and has scored on one of them and gotten all the way to third on another. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. He'll swing at that one. Breaking ball just outside right there for Shelton. Puts it at 1-1 count now.
Looked like he never really stepped towards that baseball. Is kind of in that stepping in the bucket type of thing like we've seen a lot with Mensa. He had a hard time reaching that outside corner on that because of where he stepped.
And the 1-1 pitch, another one outside right there. Looks like a breaking ball and picks it up 2-1 count now. 5-1 lead for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, Shelton hitting out of that 2-hole for the Dodgers all season long. Just the one run batted in. Now's a good chance to get another one.
Yep, he's got 2 runners in scoring position here, the 2-1 count. And a swing and a miss there.
Yeah, it was ball 3 is that pitch up at the letters. These guys like those letter high pitches. When I played, I would let that go all day. Like my pitch was like middle of the thigh. I loved it down there, but these guys love that high fastball. I'm telling you.
D. Shelton playing shortstop, and that one ball, it just goes outside once again. A little low there for Shelton. Shelton appearing in his 5th game of the season. He's only got 1 RBI in the season, but he's got 4 hits, and he's got 5 runs. 6 runs. Picked up his 6th run of the season tonight. And here comes the full count now. Oh, and a swing and a miss, and Shelton's going to want that one back. That was way outside. He never had a chance of getting a reach on it. And all of a sudden, the Dodgers have 2 outs and plays that first with the designated hitter Colin Berg coming up. And the Dodgers looked hot all of a sudden, but 2 straight back-to-back outs. And the plays at first here for the Braves.
Yeah, Shelton, not good discipline there on the 3-2 pitch.
As that one low and gets away there from the catcher, Bryce Leisure.
That's the 3rd strikeout of the game for Remo. Just real quick, after getting out of the 2nd inning, Jake Rist, his score is now complete. 1 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 5 walks, and a strikeout. That's his total line score.
And he's got Remo to thank for those runs not being poured on there after having bases loaded. But there comes the 1-0 count, and we'll get a 1-1 after a fastball. Looked like it just grazed the inside corner. Or the outside corner there. But Colin Berg, he's 2 for 2 today with singles. He's got a run as well to put the cherry on top. He's got runners in scoring position with 2 outs right now. Hit would be huge here for the Dodgers, but a swing and a miss there. He's going for a tree. 1-2.
Yeah, it looked like an off-speed pitch on the outside corner, and Berg not patient enough to wait back on that one that time and tried to pull it, and it's hard to do that when the ball's on the outside half of the plate.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch right now from Remo. And that one's a little high, a little upstairs for Colin Berg's liking. Good eye. Levels the count at 2-2 now with 2 outs.
Yeah, Remo trying that outside part again. Saw that swing the last time, and it wouldn't surprise me if they go out there again. I wouldn't actually be surprised if there was a breaking ball coming here.
Colin Berg playing very close to the plate right now, way up in the box, really crowding it. He asks for time right now. Colin Berg DHing tonight, designated hitter. Usually that role goes to Paul Nixon, but he's at first. And so Colin Berg, his second season with the Baltimore Dodgers, got the call. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. And that one's a bit inside. And all of a sudden we're at a full count. 3-2, 2 outs, runners at second and third. Dodgers looking to extend their 5-1 lead. They picked up one this inning.
Now, Paul Nixon hasn't been tearing the cover off the ball today, but you don't really want to walk this guy to get to him and give him the bases loaded again.
Nope, Paul Nixon the only. And it looks like that will be a pop fly deep into right field, and a routine catch there for Dakota Graham. He records the out, and that will end the inning. Dodgers add one. They have a 5-1 lead. We're going to go to the fourth inning, but do not go anywhere. You got Dodgers TV on your screen. And welcome back into Baltimore Dodgers baseball. Here we are, the top of the fourth inning. Braves trying to cut into this lead a little more. They trail 5-1 to the Dodgers after the Dodgers put up 3 runs in the first inning. And leading off here for the Braves is Dakota Graham. And here comes the 0-0 pitch. And a swing and a miss, and that one looked like it just got a piece of Dakota off that. Might have just been a little bit foul tip, but he's hobbling away.
Yeah, on that ankle, I think you'll see a lot of major leaguers wearing those shin guards. So that might have been off the inside of the ankle. He's already coming back into the box. If I'm him, I'm walking around. Let me get this loose.
Yeah, he's talking to the umpire about it. It's his left ankle that seems to be giving him a little issue. Dakota Graham just recorded the last out of the game in right field after a pop fly from Colin Berg. But Dakota Graham from Wilmington University, originally from Dover, Delaware, the capital. And the pitch right there. And we got a 1-1 count.
Yeah, so far this season for the Braves, it's been kind of the tale of two teams offensively. As their last 2 games, they've scored 20 runs in their last 2. And then prior to that, it was 1 run in each of those games.
Yeah, swing and a miss there by Dakota, which levels the count at 2 apiece. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs so far for the Braves. It's Dakota Graham leading it off.
So hopefully this one is kind of the max where they score this this game. It'd be great if we could get back to those Braves hitters.
And the 2-2 pitch right there, and that will be a slow dribble to second base, and unable to get to his Taj Porter. He'll stop the ball, but he won't be able to get the out there. I'm curious to see if they're going to charge him with an error or not. It'd be a tough one for him to make. I don't think they will. He made quite the diving play there deep into second base.
Now that one right there is one where maybe you want your first baseman to be able to get that.
Yeah, that was in that little no man's land right between first base and second base.
Yeah, that one, this is where you maybe are wondering about Paul Nixon at first base. Listed as a pitcher, has been DHing. He's played a few games over at first base, but maybe not the athlete
Not
that
as
McManus.
mobile as McManus was,
Right.
who held down first base for those games. But coming up now to bat for the Braves is Cody Klein. He's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout.
And with a left-handed hitter, also Taj Porter, you maybe want him a little bit more in the hole area. You see that in the major leagues, everybody moving to that shift, where you're not going to see that so much here, but maybe at least shift him a little bit because he is a left-handed hitter.
And a strike one there for Cody Klein. 0-1 count there. Low fastball. Klein from Mars Hill.
Does Klein have a phone? He has his phone to see what the signs are from his third base coach.
Are we going to go with phone, or he's got something in his back pocket?
Maybe it's like one of those wristbands?
Yeah, he's got something, though. He's got 0-1 count right now.
He pulled it out when his coach gave him a sign, and he looked at it.
He got 0-2 off that one. Yeah, he's definitely got something. And I remember I saw that last time the Braves came into town, as the first base coach is definitely doing a lot of communicating to his batter. But 0-2 for Klein right now. He's got a runner on first and no outs.
You will see something new every day, I guess. That's a new one for me.
And the 0-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss there. Back-to-back strikeouts for Klein. And Stephen Cook able to get himself his first out.
Yeah, it's Cook's fourth strikeout today, as you said, second.
First out of the inning.
First out of the inning.
Yeah.
Fourth strikeout today. And as you said, the second of Cody Klein.
Mm-hmm. And up to bat now is Devin Magnum. As Cook looks back to first base there. Keep Dakota Graham honest. Devin Magnum batting now.
Graham 2 for 2 in steals this season, so certainly a threat to run.
Magnum and Klein, those back-to-back batters, both go to Mars Hill College. And that one's a ground ball to first base, and right off there you can see that Paul Nixon is frustrated with himself. That's one he wants back, because that one just goes under his glove. And we've got a runner on first and second. Jeff Stuke up to bat now, the Dayton Flyer. He's got one out and a runner in scoring position. He had strikeout looking last time.
Yeah, the Braves starting to get to Cook a little bit here now with 5 hits through these 2 1/3 innings.
Yep, Stuke was able to bat last inning.
3 1/3, excuse me.
But like we said, Stuke has yet to record a hit so far this season. He's been struggling at bat, and he went there. So they're going to give him a strike right there. 0-1 now for Stuke. It'd be big for Cook here if he can get the out right now. Plays at first after that.
Stuke, a definite strikeout candidate. 7 of his 9 at-bats have been strikeouts.
We got the salsa dance at second base right now between Taj Porter, D. Shelton, and Dakota Graham, the runner. 0-2 count now for Stuke.
If you're a fan of the 3 true outcomes, his percentage is extremely high. In
And
10
the 0-2
plate
pitch.
appearances, I'm sorry, make that 11 plate appearances now. He's got 7 strikeouts and 2 walks. So that's 9 true outcomes in 11 plate appearances. So that's a very high 3 true outcomes percentage.
And the 1-2 pitch now, waiting from Cook. He's got Taj Porter banging his glove behind him. And that one's bit inside there, makes it 2-2. 5-1 Dodgers lead. Here at the bottom of the 4th inning. Top of the 4th, excuse me. And there's activity in the bullpen right now. Trying to pinpoint who's warming up. For the Braves, it looks like. But here comes a 2-2 pitch. And we got a full count. Stuke able to work himself down from 0-2 all the way to 3-2.
That's John Klein's warming up for the Braves.
Klein's appeared last time for the Braves when they came in town.
And it's a big pitch here.
Yep, 3-2 pitch right now. He's got 1 out. And the pitch. And they are going to give him the strikeout. Add it to the tally. Back-to-back strikeouts looking for Jeff Stuke, the first baseman.
Yeah, that was fastball that fooled him.
Yep.
I mean, it was right there. And
I think he was going for the walk. I think he went up with that mindset of, if I'm getting on, I'm getting on with a walk.
Man, that is not the mindset you want. I mean, you could be right, but I'd certainly hate to hear that as a coach.
Yep. But Tim Johnson up now, grounded out back in the third inning.
Oh, where'd that miss? That must have been high because that got plenty of plate.
Up here, it's a little difficult to range the depth of the ball, but they're going to give him a ball right there. 1-0 count now for Johnson. You got a runner at second and third. He's got 2 outs. Second and first. That one just a bit inside, but they gave him the strike. It looked very similar to the last pitch, so that's got our head scratching. But we'll take it 1-1 now with 2 outs here for Johnson.
And if you look out there at second base right now, Dakota Graham, and you can't see it on the screen, but it looks like he's got the wristband around his waist as well.
Mm-hmm.
So these Braves must be running a lot of signs.
As that pitch is just going to be, it looked like, I would assume, a little low here. Rob has got both hands up. He's about to lose it.
I have no idea.
But 2-1 after that, that's what we know. 2 outs here for Johnson, who is 0 for 1 today. And the 2-1 pitch. And he'll swing at that one, and that one will go foul to the left, and now we got a 2-2 count.
Oh, it's back into play. Now it's fair.
2-2 for Johnson.
The ball over by the Dodger bullpen. They're not big on fielding ground balls in the Dodger bullpen.
No. Tim Johnson, the second-year returner for the Braves, appeared in 31 games last year. He's got 4 so far, 5 today. He's got 2 RBIs. But here comes the 2-2 pitch for Johnson. And that will be a ground ball that's going to get past Nixon, and that's going to bring home a run as Nick Graham, the catcher, unable to get the tag in time, and Tim Johnson picks up a huge RBI right there, an RBI double, single for the Braves.
Yeah, it's going to be a single. He's going to move to second base on the throw. But that run coming in to score is the big thing for the Braves. And they're just picking apart that right side of the Dodger infield.
We got runners at second and third now, 2 outs, as leadoff man Brett Norwood is up to bat here for the Braves. They trail 5-2 after that run.
Yeah, and the big thing for them is they get back up to the top of the order. Brett Norwood with a single, and he came around to score in the third after the Dodgers got the first 2 batters of that inning out.
That one goes foul to his own dugout. Brett Norwood leading off for the Braves. Plays third base out in the field. Second season for the Braves, and just spent this past season, only a few weeks ago at Virginia Commonwealth University, where he appeared in 51 games and had a fair share of hits as well, 67 hits and 50 runs and 27 RBIs. But that one's a ground ball, and Taj Porter at second base can't get to it. The runs keep coming, and that's going to add 2 to the Braves' already tally running. And all of a sudden, we've got a 5-4 ball game, and this one's anyone's game.
Yeah, looks like they're going to give a hit on that, but at this level, you'd like to see your second baseman make that play. It was a little bit difficult. He had to range deep to his backhand side, but the ball getting under his glove, and if he makes that catch clean, he's got the runner at first base. So it's, like I said, that right side of the Dodgers infield is just getting eaten up this inning, and there's all kinds of holes over there right this second.
Well, they replaced the second baseman, Miles Mensa, with Taj Porter, and they replaced first baseman Michael McManus with Paul Nixon, and they really subbed out 2 better defensive players. Miles Mensa, not the greatest hitter, yet he's a Golden Glove Award winner at second base, and we've seen the casualty of that.
Runner goes.
Here goes Norwood. Can they get him? No. What are they going to call? Oh, strikeout at home anyway.
We're gonna call it batter's interference. So the runner is called out at second base. So
that's that every day.
That's what happened right there. Is the runner didn't necessarily get caught, but they called batter's interference as he stepped across into the throwing lane.
That will retire this inning, though. We're going to go into the bottom of the fourth. Dodgers have a 1-run lead after those 3 innings by the Braves. Do not change the channel, though. This is 5-4 Dodgers baseball. Welcome back here to Joe Cannon Stadium as Paul Nixon, the first baseman, had some errors, or some mistakes rather, back on the last top of the fourth. He's going to try and make up for that with his bat right now.
No, I don't know necessarily so much about mistakes, but definitely
Once he wanted back, and here comes the 0-0 pitch. And he'll take that one immediately to shortstop right there. Austin Gauthier will record the out across the diamond to Jeff Stuke, and we've got our first out there at the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't get out of the box very well right there.
He's a big fella.
Yeah, well, I think the problem was he was trying to hit it a long way, and so he didn't have his feet under him to get out of the box on that. So it would have been hard to beat out anyway. But it definitely looked like he overswung trying to hit that ball a long way.
Paul DePino, the third, now up to bat. He's got a walk and a strikeout so far today. Let's see if we can get the hit. Looked to bunt immediately, but a strike called right there. 0-1 now for DePino. As the Dodgers had a comfortable 4-run lead just moments ago, it seems like, but all of a sudden that 4-run lead has been diminished to 1 run as they lead the Braves 5-4 here.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised, actually, that they don't have anybody up and going after 7 hits in the last 2 innings for the Braves.
And 0-2 now.
And you know where the turning point for that was.
1-1 that ball was called for DePino.
It was Matthew saying 2 words that should never be uttered by a broadcaster.
And Remo with the 1-1 pitch now. That one just a bit inside, it looks like, a little low as well, which makes it 2-1 now.
Yeah, DePino striking out with the bases loaded in the second inning. That was a big spot.
And it looks like, and that's where a huge confidence momentum booster for the Braves right there is Remo, the current pitcher, came in with bases loaded and was able to get out of a jam with back-to-back strikeouts. And foul ball, it's going to go deep to left out in the parking lot. And we've got a 2-2 count now.
Yeah, the Dodgers so far today, this is kind of the story for the Dodgers. You want to talk about runners left on base? Talk about 2 less than possible. 3 runners left on base per inning is the most that you can have, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be a total of 9. The Dodgers have 7 runners left on base in 3 innings.
Clutchness has not been found so far today. And the 2-2 pitch now from Remo. And that one's going to sit down in left field, and he's got himself a base hit right there. DePino looking to get 2 on that one. He'll put the brakes on and reel himself back into first. But what a start right there for Paul DePino. He needed that one after a strikeout his last at-bat.
Yeah, a little bit of a looper over that third baseman's head. I was hoping that maybe he'd be able to get into second base, but getting over to it quickly was Johnson able to get the ball into the infield.
And here comes the catcher now, Nick Graham. Nick Graham only appearing in his second game of the season. He's got DePino on first with 1 out. And the 0-0 pitch now. Oh, Remo will look back, and DePino will easily walk himself back to first base. And here comes the first pitch now for Nick Graham. And he'll smack that one. He'll go down the left field line. Foul ball. 0-1 count now for Nick Graham.
Graham a strikeout victim in the second, just like Paul DePino, and that was from the arm of Ryan Remo. But he did get a base hit with an RBI back in the first.
As that 0-1 pitch right there goes a little far outside. 1-1 now.
Out of the way there.
Little kiss to the ball right there. DePino not taking a huge lead. He's getting held down by Stuke. And 3-1 pitch and a swing, and that one's going to go to left field. And getting under that one right there is the left fielder, Tim Johnson, with ease. And DePino will trot himself back to first base. 2 outs now. As Jake Ruby comes up to bat now. With my still favorite walkout song, Dixieland Delight. He's got a fan base right now in the crowd clapping with him.
The fans are enjoying his walk-up music too.
Ruby was able to score back in the 3rd inning. Lefty batter here. And a swing and a first pitch, and that one's going to go a pop fly. And it looks like second baseman Cody Klein will get that one and will retire the bottom of the 4th. Dodgers unable to put any runs on the board. This game still a tight one here at 5-4 here on Baltimore Dodgers TV. And welcome back here at the top of the 5th inning. Dodgers lead at 5-4 as catcher Bryce Leisure will lead things off here for the Braves. Braves were able to score 3 runs last inning, and 1 run before that to put themselves at 4 runs. They trail by 1 now. Leisure, 1 for 2 today, and a swing right there and a foul ball. Just get the piece of it, and that goes right back to the netting.
And Austin Gauthier being called out on the batter's interference.
Yeah, we talked about that during the break right there on who gets charged with the out there. Simultaneously, we had Brent Norwood going to second. But the pitch right there puts himself at 0-1 now for Leisure. 0-2, 1-1 now. Hard to see the umpire from up here sometimes, but 1-1 right now for Leisure. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. And that one a bit inside, and we'll extend that one to 2-1 now for Leisure. Bryce Leisure from Citadel made the all-freshman team his freshman year there. And he gets a 2-1 pitch, and that one's a ground ball to Paul Nixon, who stumbles around with that one and cannot get the out right there. And that's one Nixon really wants back. He's been struggling all day so far at first base with some tough plays and some like that, an easy routine ground ball that he really should have had. And he just fumbled around with it a little bit too much and can't get the out, despite Stephen Cook rushing over from the pitcher's mound to help him out.
Yeah, and after he picked it up, he tried to underhand it. You cannot. You cannot underhand that ball after you boot it around like that. You got to pick it up and throw it. Otherwise, there's no chance of getting him.
And we'll get our first error of the day for the Dodgers. But up to bat now. Vinny Costello, the center fielder for the Braves. He's got man on first right now. And looking back right there, Stephen Cook as he throws it to his first baseman, Nixon. But diving back just in time is Bryce Leisure. 1-0 count right now for Costello. And the pitch. And that one's way outside there. Extends himself to 2-0 now. And it looks like catcher Nick Graham's going to have a little word with his pitcher right now, as Stephen Cook got out to a fiery, hot start, throwing a lot of gas. And you know what? The fire's been put out a little bit. And
Timely hitting for the Braves. I mean, 7 hits now in the last 2 innings. And then this the error by Nixon. We do have a warm-up, or a pitcher warming up for the Dodgers. It's Casey Gast. And, Cook could be nearing the end of his rope for today's ball game.
Yep, we'll see how Cook fares in this inning. But the 2-0 pitch, and that one's going to be a fly ball deep to right field. Going back is Dario Torres, and that's going to fall. And the runners are going to advance. They're going to get 1. Can they get 2? Rounding second, going to third right now is Vinny Costello, and he'll stand the standing triple. And this game is tied.
Vinny Costello going the opposite field with that triple. As we mentioned, gaps are huge at Joe Cannon Stadium. And if you hit one in the gap, it's instant triple.
Yep, it almost looked like a home run at that. The way he was trotting along there between second and third, he had plenty of time to spare, didn't even have to slide into third. Vinny Costello picking up his first hit of the day. But up to bat now is Dakota Graham.
That error obviously huge, as that put the tying run on base when it should have been 1 away.
No outs now for the Braves, and they got a runner just 90 feet away from home plate. Would give them the lead.
The Dodgers infield now starting to come in.
Dakota Graham, got on back in the 4th inning with a single, and he scored after that. And the pitch. And did he go? It looks like he did not go on that one. 1-1.
That was called by
strike.
Called by the home plate umpire. He didn't need to appeal that one. And he pointed right at the batter and said, "Yes, you did, sir."
1-1 right now for Dakota Graham. And that one just a bit inside there. We'll make it 2-1 count right now.
And the Dodgers, Graham doing a good job right there making that block.
Yeah, Graham on Graham. Nick Graham, the catcher for the Dodgers, and Dakota Graham, the batter for the Braves.
Yeah, keeping Vinny Castillo over at third base is really big now, because the Dodgers, they're getting runners on base, but it seems like the pitching, the Braves are starting to get to that pitching. So you got to try and get out of this inning tied, as hard as that may be. That's got to be the goal.
And the 2-1 pitch right now for Cook. And that one put himself at 3-1 now. Batter's count here for Graham.
Now, don't give in. Don't give him anything great to hit here. You got the first base open. And if he walks, you set up the double play. So I would go with a pitch you think he might chase.
And Graham will draw the walk. And we've got runners on the corner. And up to bat now, second baseman Cody Klein.
From Mars Hill College, number 5, Cody Klein.
And like I said, now it puts the double play in order with Cody Klein coming to the plate.
Which definitely helps a little bit. Pick up 2 outs right there, but that would still bring the run home.
True, but you're 1 run down with 4 innings to play. Well, 4.5 innings to play. So it's not the worst thing at all.
It's
if
damage.
that happens.
It's damage control if that happens right now.
Correct.
But Klein up to bat right now, second baseman out of Mars Hill College. He awaits the pitch, looking bunt right off the bat. Going back to first base is Cook right there as Nixon cannot tag up on Graham.
So this looks like we may have a safety squeeze situation here where the runner at third base doesn't break until contact. But with Klein squaring so soon, he might make it difficult.
He's going to look to bunt again. He's going to pull back. And getting into second on the stolen base right there is Dakota Graham, as Nick Graham, the catcher, won't even attempt to make the throw.
Dodgers were
preoccupied with that bunt right there. Put a little bit of screen up, it looks like.
Yeah, it might have been the game all along to fake like they're going to go with the safety squeeze and allow the runner to get into second base. Dodgers bringing the infield back in.
0-1 pitch right now from Cook. Yep, exactly what it looks like right there as Klein didn't even attempt to bunt right there. 0-2 now for Klein.
Yeah, good breaking ball there as Klein kind of backing away, throwing his head back like, oh my goodness, that was right there.
Force out is no longer on the table for the Dodgers. So the play's got to be made at first and deal with the batter right now and assess the damage later. No outs right now. A jam for Cook. Let's see what he can do. 0-2 pitch. And we've got our first out of the inning right there, and that's going to help. A strikeout looking for Klein. That's his 3rd straight strikeout of the game so far today.
Yeah, 2 looking, 1 swinging, and that's a big, big strikeout. Now that double play gets you out of the inning as Graham out to speak with his – well, I'm sorry, there's no double play in order. But Graham out to speak with his pitcher.
Yep, doesn't hit Devin Magnum up now for the Braves. He's 1 for 2 today with a single.
You keep doing that. I don't think you can pronounce his name properly.
Magnum?
It's not Magnum.
Oh, what is it?
It's Mangum.
Magnum? Okay.
Mangum with an N first.
All right, you can just say that then.
Mangum. It's like people can't say Massachusetts. I think that's one of those for you.
Just lay it on me, Rob. Here we go. Anything else you want to get off your mind? Yeah, the pitch right now. That one goes a bit outside. 1-0 for Devin. We'll just leave it at that.
For Devin. Sorry, you're just thinking of your shopping list for later.
1 out now for the Braves. Runners on second and third. And the pitch in that one a bit too far outside as well. We'll extend that to 2-0 for Cook.
And again, working, don't give him anything great to swing at, because you got a first baseman who's a strikeout candidate in the on-deck circle.
Yeah.
So really work the corners here and try and get him to chase your pitch.
2-0 pitch right now. And 3-0.
Well, he's not going to chase that pitch.
Yeah, that's 3 pitches that just keep getting further and further away from the batter. The lefty here, Devin Magnum.
Mangum. Closer. Baseball was behind home plate in play, so they had to wait to get that out of there. I was wondering, the home plate umpire turned and looked backwards, and I'm like, what happened?
3-0 pitch. And that one,
and the Dodgers,
again, it's almost as if they wanted to intentionally walk him.
They did, but
yeah, but they didn't do a good job of disguising that.
Well, I mean,
they're
not really.
Yeah, I mean, but
again, these are Major League Baseball rules.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't have to throw the pitches.
I think they wanted him to try and reach on the first 2 because they were not, too far outside at all. The last 2 were just obvious.
Well, I don't think the third one was intentional, but I think they were worried about a potential wild pitch.
Yeah, because the catcher was playing all the way over there. But here comes Jeff Stuke. Let's see if he can get his first hit. It'll be a timely one, as that one will be just a bit too low and inside. 1-0 count now for the first baseman from Dayton University.
Yeah, big matchup right here. Can you get that strikeout? Or even better, a double play ball?
You get the force out at home if it's doable. And the pitch. And that one will just get the inside corner right there. 1-1 now for Stuke.
That front door breaking ball really working for Cook in this ball game. A couple times his breaking balls he's leaving up a little bit high, but when he's able to get it into that strike zone, get that front door breaking ball going, it's been really good.
1-1 pitch now. As he just gets a piece of that one, goes back into the netting right in front of us. And 1-2 pitch, 1-2 count now.
Yeah, it was right on that. Have to see what Cook's going to go with here. Stuke a couple strikeouts in the game, and we'll see if he and Klein can both join the 3 strikeout club.
And the 1-2 pitch from Cook now. As that one gets away from Graham, and that's going to bring home a run. And the Braves have the lead. Runners advance. And scoring right there is Vinny Costello. And the Braves jump out to a 6-5 lead after trailing 4-1.
Yeah, that's going to have to go down as a wild pitch, as just way up and in, causing your catcher to get up out of his crouch to try and make that catch. And that's just an unforced error by the pitcher.
And it really removes any sort of double play right now for the Dodgers. As a pitch, and Stuke will get caught swinging, and the hitless streak continues as the strikeouts continue to pile on. It's his 3rd of the day. And Tim Johnson now coming up to bat.
The 7th strikeout for Cook. Tim Johnson had a base hit through the right side the last time he was up there.
Johnson up to bat now. He's got runners at 2nd and 3rd and 2 outs. As that one just gets away from the box right there. 1-0 count now for Johnson.
The Dodgers can get out of this down 1. You're okay.
All depends on the bat of Johnson now. And the pitch. And swing and a miss right there. 1-1 now.
Yeah, chase on a breaking ball there. It's a good pitch by Cook. It's pretty much the same pitch that he had just thrown, but this time he gets the chase.
If Cook is able to end the inning right here, be able to go through 5 innings and 6 runs, it's not bad, but it's not great.
Well, ideally those 6 runs you're not going to be too happy with. 5 innings is always a decent day.
And
that's
a strike
good
right
pitch.
there, yeah. 1-2 now. Tim Johnson has to defend the plate. Runners in scoring position here for the Braves. 2 outs. You're at the top of the 5th. And the pitch right there and down in the dirt. Nick Graham able to get stop to it though. 2-2 count. 2-2 count now.
Well, the Dodgers to this point of the season have never been trailing heading to the 9th inning. So their offense is going to have to do some work if they want to keep that streak to continue. They've got some time left.
Yep, both those losses came from 9th inning runs by the opposing team, the Grays and the Braves. And the 2-2 pitch now from Cook. That one also down in the dirt.
Steady diet of breaking balls here to Johnson. I think Cook feels he can get him to chase here, but now you're in dangerous territory.
Yep.
As Brett Norwood's on deck.
And you're going to load the batter you want to face.
Right, you're going to load the bases for him. He's already 2 for 3 on the day. Couple of singles. So that's not a guy you want to face.
No. 3-2 count now with 2 outs. Runners at 2nd and 3rd in the pitch. And that one down in the dirt, and we're going to get bases loaded. That 3 straight balls there by Cook. He just seemed to lose a handle of his placement. And all of a sudden, the man you don't want to be facing right now if you're Cook is leadoff hitter Brett Norwood.
If I'm Coach Juan Waters, who's taking over for Coach Derek Brown today, who's not here, I'm going to Casey Gast right now. Gast is warm in the bullpen. He's just kind of standing there. He's kind of a sidearm slinger lefty to face off against the lefty Norwood. And you get that lefty-lefty matchup here. That would probably be my call, but it looks like he's going to leave Cook in to face the left-handed hitter.
Yep, and we've seen Gas before get out of bases loaded jams. He done it twice in that 9-11 loss to the DC Grays, but he came in, had bases loaded back-to-back innings, and able to get out of there with no runs at all. Impressive stuff by Casey Gas, the second-year Dodger player out of Southeastern University. And a pitch there now, 2-0.
Now Cook can't find the strike
That's
zone.
5 straight balls right there for Cook. It's just building up in his head a little bit. The Braves are getting dangerously close to batting through the whole lineup here in the 5th inning. 2-0 pitch. A rocket to right field going back at the wall. Torres, and that one is going to hit the fence, and that's going to clean the bases, though. And going to third right now is a standing triple for Brent Norwood. Absolutely cleans the entire shelf, brings 3 runs home, and the Braves have extended their lead now, 9-5. Things are getting bad here in Hanover.
And 3 runs come in to score on a ball that absolutely was squared up by Brett Norwood. He drives in 3 with his 3rd hit of the game. And, oh, look, it's Coach Brown. He's coming out. He's going to get his pitcher now.
Just a bit too late there.
Yeah, one pitch too many, I think, for Cook. And he's going to take the baseball.
Brent Norwood has just done a lot of damage to this Dodger team here. He's scored runs. He's brought in runs. He's done it all so far in the 2 games for them. And he's public enemy #1 for this Baltimore team.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody that's going to start putting runs up on the board like that against you is definitely not a guy that you like to see, that's for sure.
Yep, Casey Gas coming in. Gas this afternoon was having a lot of fun in our post-game interview. We'll step aside here and let him warm up, but when we come back, we've got 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Dodgers now trail 9-5 here on Baltimore Dodgers TV. Welcome back into Baltimore Dodgers game here. They now trail 9-5 after that triple by Brent Norwood to clear the bases, and Casey Gas taking them out now. Try and stop the bleeding here, as he'll pick up a strike right there.
Yeah, we said it before the break. Pitch too late. Pitch too late to Casey Gas. Probably should have come in for the lefty-lefty against Brett Norwood, but it comes back to hurt the Dodgers. A pair of triples in the 5th. And Dodgers are in a big hole now.
Yep, this game is going to become a shootout. The Dodgers look to pick up their third win of the season. Gas got a 1-1 count now for Austin Gauthier. And a 1-2 now with 2 outs and a man on third. Dodgers 1 point led 4-1, but after an 8-1 run by the Braves, it's 95 bad guys now. And that'll retire the top of the 5th, but the bleeding and the damage has been done. The Braves now lead it 9-5 going into the bottom of the 5th here. Leading it off here for the Dodgers after the break is Dario Torres. When we come back, Braves lead it 9-5. And welcome back here to Joe Cannon Stadium. I'm Matthew Peterson at the call right now. Next to me, Rob Stadnick. And we've got Dario Torres, the outfielder to bat here for the Dodgers. He's got to get the bats going here as the Dodgers need some offense right now as they trail 4. And a good eye by Torres right there as that ball outside. 1-0 count here at the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, just doing my count here. 4 of the runs for the Braves in that last inning, in which they scored 5, were unearned runs.
Yep, that error at the beginning of the inning by first baseman Paul Nixon proved to be costly as that started the spark of the fire after that. But 2-0 count now for Torres. He swings at that one, a foul ball down the left field line, puts himself at 2-1 now. As Rob continues to tally up the stats for you here, but 2-1 now for Torres. Torres going to be a junior in the fall out of West Virginia Institute of Technology. The 2-1 pitch, he'll swing at that one. A chopper to shortstop right there. Gauthier, it looks like he got eaten up by the turf monster, and he'll go down right there. Some grass fairies brought him down.
Yeah,
and Torres will get to first.
Yeah, I don't think he had a chance at Torres anyway, but
he was running away from the bag there. That would have been a tough play. It didn't look like it was doable, but that's the start we need. We got a runner on base now. Taj Porter. He singled in his last at bat, and he flew out in his first at bat. So he's 1 for 2 today. It'll be a good time to go 2 for 3. And the pitch, and a swing and a miss there by Taj.
Good little change-up it looked like there by Remo.
And if you're able to get Taj on here, all of a sudden you're at the top of your order, and Trevor Doyle is the right man you want at the plate. And the pitch right there levels at 1 apiece.
Final line score for Stephen Cook, 4 2/3, 9 hits, 9 runs, only 5 earned. Walked 4, struck out 7.
Cook had a good start today, but cooled down towards the end. The 1-1 pitch right there comes in as a strike. 1-2 now for Porter.
Yeah, a couple of triples did him in. That's for sure.
I think someone named Brett Norwood did him in.
Yeah.
Norwood has had quite the day at the plate so far. 1-2 count now for Porter. And the pitch. He'll swing at that one, and he'll retire himself right there. Goes down swinging. Picks up his first strikeout of the day, but we got one out, man on first, and leadoff hitter Trevor Doyle up to bat now.
Number 16 from Sacramento State.
Yeah, another time where it looked like the batter for the Dodgers in this case, Taj Porter, stepping out again, looks like trying to pull the baseball. They're not staying in on the baseball. A lot of them are stepping towards either first or third base, depending on which side of the plate that they're standing on.
Mimicking Miles Mensa. We talked about that earlier, but Trevor Doyle takes strike one right there. He's got a man on first. It'll be a good time to bring that guy home. As Trevor Doyle will eye down the pitcher. Speaking of which, Remo goes back to first to keep Torres on the bag.
And the Dodgers have had the runners in this game, have left them all on base. 8 runners left on base through 4 innings. That's 2 per inning.
And the pitch right there puts it at 1-1 right now. Yeah, 8 left on base at a maximum of 15 at this point. I mean, that's just numbers you don't see every day.
No. It means you were getting on them, especially early.
And you just can't close.
Yeah, just not getting those clutch hits.
And the pitch right there is swinging it and getting a piece of it is Doyle, making himself a 1-2 count now with 1 out. Here, bottom of the 5th inning.
The baseball being removed from the field of play. I guess it's a dead ball at this point.
And Remo now serving up the 1-2 pitch. And swinging at that is Doyle, and he will go down, picks up his first strikeout of the day. 2 outs for the Dodgers.
Yeah, looked like maybe a 2-seam fastball running away from the left-handed hitter, and not able to get a piece of it. Kind of swinging wildly a little bit.
Yep, Trevor Doyle getting his first strikeout of the season, if you'll believe it. He's been perfect almost so far, but that's his first one of the season. Had to come eventually. And D. Sheldon at bat now. Swing at that one. Get down and going into the gap there between left and center, and unable to get down there as the left fielder coming in from left to right there, Tim Johnson, to record the out. Dodgers get one on, but can't do anything else after that. As we go into the 6th inning, they trail 9-5 here on Baltimore Dodgers TV. And welcome back here to the 6th inning as the Braves lead it 9-5 over the Dodgers. Bryce Leisure led off the last inning, and they were almost able to go all the way around completely, so he'll lead off this inning. The catcher number 10, Bryce Leisure, out of Citadel. And Casey Gass now on the mound for the Dodgers.
Yeah, and to continue his work.
Yep. Start off with the ball right there for Leisure. Leisure, one of many to score last inning. After getting on, he kickstarted things with that error to Paul Nixon at first. But here comes the pitch right there, and we're going to strike 1-1 now for Leisure.
It's honestly, it's funny because the first 3 games here, the defense was just not quite there, right?
Yep.
And one game we had 7 errors, and it was kind of bad. And today, just the 1 error, and it turns out to be so huge.
It's costly, to put it, yeah.
I mean, and the other one, the game we had 7 errors, we were tied going into the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
And just 1 error, and it's a huge error.
There's only 1 error, but there's also a lot of plays that, 50-50 plays that we're not getting on the better side of. A lot of tough plays that we're unable to completely close on. As Gash throws the 1-2 pitch right there to make it 2-2.
Yeah, that's a good take there by Leisure because that pitch just missing the outside corner. It was a little frisbee breaking ball by Casey Gast.
And it's at this point in the game right now that I'm expecting to see a lot of substitutes out of the Braves. As that one and making a diving play just on cue. D. Shelton right there laying out to record the out.
Yeah, nice play there by D. Shelton. Is kind of diving into the outfield.
Just when I said we're not getting the benefit of those 50-50 plays, those ones can go either way, D. Shelton heard me all the way from shortstop and just put his body on the line there and recorded the out. A huge play by Shelton to get the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that could be a big boost. Let's see if it turns on the offense too.
And a grounder right now to Pino, who just fumbles around with it and just can't quite get a hand on it. And I think they're going to charge him with the error on that one, as Vinny Costello will reach first base.
Number 2, Nick Wheeler.
We're getting
Nick Wheeler.
and a change right now. Dakota Graham is checking out, and coming in his place is Nick Wheeler out of Grambling State University, originally from Chicago, Illinois.
The exchange number 1 for number 2 in the lineup. As we all shuffle our papers to get to Nick Wheeler.
It's the behind-the-scenes stuff work here in the booth. But Nick Wheeler now up to bat here for the Braves.
Wheeler from Grambling State, right-handed hitter. 0 for 4 with a strikeout in yesterday's ballgame. The home plate umpire wasn't ready for that pitch. He was still working his mask. But he does call the strike.
And that puts us at 0-1 right now with 1 out.
From your neck of the woods in Chicago.
Yep. Went to a school. I looked it up just in the city right there. But Nick Wheeler, another returning player for this Braves team. This is a team that has quite the high retention rate as players continue to come back more and more. His second season with the Braves. He's going to be a senior and we got a pickoff situation here. Nixon throwing it out to second base and trying to get the out, and they get him. Wow, Bryce Leisure got caught stealing, and Gass threw it to first, Nixon to second, and Shelton able to record the out. And wow, what a momentum boost. D. Shelton doing all the work right there for 2 outs, it looks like. Made a diving out back in second batter, and then gets the out right there in the pickoff.
Yeah, that's your classic 1-3-6 caught stealing.
Classic 1-3-6.
Classic 1-3-6.
And Nick Wheeler now, as all the attention goes back to him. Don't forget about him right now. With 2 outs here for the Braves. 1-2 count for Wheeler. Wheeler appeared in 31 games, started in 28 of them this past season for the Tigers of Grambling State. And they got him, and he's going, and he's out of here. Nick Wheeler doing a check swing, but he went around enough to record the out. And 3 up, 3 down for the Braves right there. We're going to go into the bottom of the 6th inning. Dodgers need some runs, and they need it soon as they trail 9-5. Don't go anywhere, though, here on Dodgers TV. leading things off here for the Dodgers is going to be the designated hitter Colin Berg, usually the catcher, but tonight he's DHing. Colin Berg so far today, he is 2 for 3 with 2 singles and then a fly out to the right field, but gets his first at-bat since the 3rd inning. That's how slow the offense has been since then. And he'll take that one immediately up the third baseline. He's going to get on base with a single.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there by Colin Berg, turning on that first pitch fastball by Remo, who's been very solid here for the Braves.
If you get some pour some runs, put some batters on early, that's going to pressure Remo and pressure the Braves bullpen to probably make a move. Paul Nixon, the big guy, batting in that 4 spot, the cleanup spot, hasn't gotten a hit yet today. He's been walked and he's gotten a sacrifice fly, and then he got a ground at a shortstop. But here he comes. He's got a man on first with no outs. And a swing, and he'll get a piece of that one as it just trickles down to the Dodgers first base coach.
Yeah, kind of off the end of the bat right there is a little out in front of it.
Nixon playing first base today. He's had his hands full so far. Let's see if he can make up with some of those, with that error we talked about earlier with the big hit here. As the 0-1 pitch now from Remo to Nixon. Swinging at that one, a fly ball went way under it, and coming in and calling off is Cody Glenn, the second baseman, and we get our first out right there. As Nixon, he saw it and he had the right timing. He just got a little bit too far under it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that's kind of in vogue in the major leagues right now. There's no such thing as control. Okay, so that swing, he was trying to get all 4 runs with a 2-run homer right there. It was a huge swing. You need base runners. This is where you got to transition into that base hit type of swing instead of trying to hit the water tower at this point in the game. So it's one of those things that's just kind of,
you put the nail on the head right there. You can't put 4 runs on with just 2 people up. You can't hit a 4-run shot. You got to play run by run and put runners on base, and that's how you're going to do it. And a foul ball goes behind us into the parking lot, and we get an 0-1 now for Paul DePino III. So far, Paul has been walked, struck out, and a single. So he is 1 for 2 on the day so far. We got a man on first. And the 0-1 pitch. And that one just a bit inside and a little upstairs, it looks like. So 1-1 now for DePino.
and our sound effects here got onto Braves play-by-play radio, they're doing their thing back here in the stadium, and our little alarm sound effect got some play.
And a swing and a miss there by DePino. Wow, breaking ball way outside there and wasn't even close to it, really. 1-2 count now.
And DePino well out in front. Need to wait back here and probably look for that same pitch again. He didn't look good on it, so I'd honestly throw it again if I'm on the mound. But I'd never played college ball, so what do I know?
And the 1-2 pitch now. That one's way outside. So, yeah, he took your advice, but then took it to another level.
Well, he didn't take my advice, but he definitely didn't throw a strike with a fastball.
Yeah. 2-2 now with 1 out.
But I like to throw curveballs anyway. That was my best pitch.
And the 2-2 pitch. And a swing, and that's going to find the gap, and that's going to get a base runner on board. As DePino puts it right in the spot between the third baseman right there and the shortstop, as Norwood and Gauthier got caught sleeping. Neither of them made a move for the ball. And we've got runners at first and second, and up to bat now is Nick Graham. A great time for Graham to really pick up his first big hit of the season.
Yeah, Graham with a single back in the first inning to drive in a run, but now getting more runs is kind of the...
And a shot to left field. Ooh, just going to go foul, though. It sounded great and it looked good, but it just kept turning and turning and turning.
That was one of those. That was one of those video game sounds that just sounds beautiful, but just way out in front of it.
Just a little too early on that one. Nick Graham now working himself to an 0-1 count. He's got one out and a runner in scoring position. And the pitch. And did he go? They're going to say he did, yeah. So 0-2 now. He's got to defend the plate here.
Looking down at John Klein's warming up again for the Braves in their bullpen. Nasty little slider over there. I've got a good viewpoint from where we're standing.
And the 0-2 pitch now. And that one's going to be a little upstairs. Level, put it at 1-2 now.
That's a good eye not to chase that one right there.
Yep, that's kind of one you could swing right at your numbers right there and go down swinging.
And we said there's a lot of guys that like that high fastball. We've seen them chase those on 3-1 pitches, 2-0 pitches, things like that. They love those high fastballs.
And the 1-2 pitch from Remo. As that one, umpire takes a second to think about it, but looked like it wasn't going to catch that far outside corner.
Yeah, Leisure trying to do his best to bring it back. That's always my thing. I always feel like the umpire will tell you just no. Like if you move the ball back like the way that Leisure just did, I feel like you're not going to get the call. You got to just kind of like try and scoop it. The way I was taught, you kind of surround the baseball and catch it coming back towards the plate.
Ooh, and that one
hurt.
fine. Ooh, that's going to leave a mark.
I heard that.
As you saw right there, Nick Graham took a pitch right to the back, it looked like. The man didn't even move or flinch and just jogged himself to first base as our favorite walkout song now. Jake Ruby comes up, and he's got bases loaded, one out. What a time to be alive.
Number 25, Jake Ruby.
He's got the rhythmic clapping going. I love it. He is a newcomer to the team. As a newcomer to the team, he was actually just got me the music, I think, end of, like, early this week, I think, and I was cutting it up and everything, and he didn't.
And we're going to get a mound visit right now, as it looks like Remo's day may be coming to an end, as John Klein may be checking in here, and that's exactly what we're going to see. We're going to step aside for a moment. Dodgers have the bases loaded, one out, and they trail 9-5 here in the sixth inning. And checking in now, welcome back here. Checking in now for the Braves is pitcher number 23, John Kleins. Very similar to second baseman Cody Klein, but at an S, from Virginia Military Institute from McLean, Virginia. He's a 6'2", 215 lefty pitcher.
Not exactly a long man for the Braves out of the bullpen. Playing in his third game, just 3 innings pitched so far this year.
And Klein's going to be a junior, and his first pitch right there is going to go down as a ball.
And that was his longest game of the season. Came back in the game against the Dodgers. Two innings, gave up 3 runs and 3 hits. So that would be big.
And here we go. Bases loaded for Ruby. Ruby so far today, he got on back in the first inning, walked, and then flew out in the 4th. But the pitch doesn't like that one, but that will go down as a strike. 1-1 now with 1 out.
And Ryan Remo, 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 walks, a hit batter, and 5 strikeouts, but 3 runners. Currently his responsibility on the base paths.
Yep, that's going to be his baggage at the outcome of this. As here comes the pitch from Kleins. And getting away from the catcher right there, Bryce Leisure, but able to contain it enough. Keep the runner at third.
Yeah, ball just popping out of the glove of Leisure there, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but
Just closed a little bit too early or too late, it looks like. But 2-1 now here for Ruby. Swing and a miss there, that breaking ball. Wow. He really made him look silly.
man, count in your favor. Got to be looking fastball there and just getting fooled on a breaking ball. That's gutsy throwing that 2-1.
Yep, if you really get right under that one, that
feel
one's going
like-
deep in the field.
I feel like as a hitter, you're just going to spit on that.
Mhm.
Like that pitch in the dirt there, 2-1, you're not even looking for anything that low.
But now we're at 2-2. As that one out the dirt and getting away from Leisure right now, coming in easily to score a run right there is Colin Berg. Runners will move along, and the Dodgers pick up a much-needed run right there to cut the deficit to 3, 9-6 now.
Yeah, wild pitch charged to John Kleins, and that run will be charged to Ryan Remo, and the other 2 still out there. A 3-2 count now on the batter.
Runners at second and third now, as both DePino and Graham will advance on the error. 2-2 here for Ruby. Swinging it, and that's a chopper. That's going to go foul, though.
And this is the second time in the ball game that a reliever for the Braves has had to come in with the bases loaded and just one away.
Yeah.
And they're still winning
Yep.
by 3 runs right now. The Dodgers have had runners everywhere.
Excellent defensive work so far from the Braves. And that one also goes in the dirt as Kleins did not get out to the start. Oh, 1 second. Let's rewind here. Is going back here. It was only 2-2, so that's your biggest nightmare right there. Was not a 3-2. But for whatever reason, Ruby thought he had 3 balls on him.
I did too, actually.
We all kind of did. And I think everyone but the umpire did, but it said 2-2 up there. But the confidence he had going to first, it really, in the throw of the bat, it sold me. But 3-2 pitch now. But that one's a strike. Wow, karma. As Ruby twice now looks to go to first, both times sent back.
I think what it was, that 2-1 pitch in the dirt.
Yeah. But Torres now coming in here. Torres is 1 for 2 today. He's also got a walk. And the 0-0 pitch. That one a bit inside, but they're going to call a strike. Fastball right there. Just caught the inside corner, looks like. Runners at second and third. 2 outs here for the Dodgers. They picked up 1 off a wild pitch. That one goes outside, opposite corner right there. But 1-1 count now.
Yeah, Kleins from VMI, a native of McLean, Virginia. Appeared in 7 games for the Keydets. Started 11 and 2/3 innings, a 7.71 ERA. The Dodgers got to jump over.
Got 14 strikeouts and 18 walks to go along with that outing so far this his season at VMI. He's an economics major. And he's not the first one to go to military school. His aunt actually played basketball and track and field at West Point. But Torres now.
Fastball sitting somewhere in the low 80s. Was a 3-year member of the Richmond Braves national team.
Torres is caught right there swinging, missing. 2-2 with 2 outs. 2's all across here with runners at second and third as the Dodgers trail 9-6.
2's wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Number 22 at the plate. And number 22 just left the game for the Braves.
And that one's going to go to the left field, and able to get under it easily as Tim Johnson, as that will retire the inning. Dodgers are able to get one, though, even though they left 2 men on base. Dodgers trail 6-9 going into the 7th inning. I'm going to hand the reins back over to Rob for the remainder of this game. Once again, this has been Matthew Peterson alongside me, Rob Stadnick, as we're going to go into the 7th inning. Dodgers need 3 to bring this one back to tie ball game.
Back here for the top of the 7th inning. The Baltimore Dodgers trailing the DC Grays by a score of 9-6.
Herndon Braves, that's okay.
What did I say?
DC Grays.
DC Grays. Well,
That's our last one.
that was kind of what it was like last
Yeah,
against them.
we've had this score before.
So yeah, Herndon Braves and new batter in for the Braves, Adam Colin, is going to be taking over for Cody Klein. He's ahead in the count, no balls I'm sorry, he's ahead in the count, a ball and no strikes. As he stands from the right-hand side against the left-handed pitching Casey Gast. And this is the time of the game we're going to start seeing some Braves players change here as he hits a line drive out to the second baseman Porter. And now another new batter coming in for the Braves.
Adam Cole retired there. Davis checking in, but Cole one of 3 players who are sitting down, so a lot of familiarity in that dugout.
And Davis will stand in.
He's probably one of his teammates over from Georgetown.
Georgetown, interesting fact about them, the first delivery missing to him is they actually play their home games at the same place as the Big Train. The Bethesda Big Train at Shirley Povich Field. 1-0 swung on and missed. Late on that fastball was Davis. Good news for you, Davis replacing Devin Mangum, who reached base twice and scored a couple of runs for the Braves. An off-speed pitch fouled off towards the Dodger dugout, getting past Gamache over there at third base, who tried to scoop it with a catcher's mitt. think that this Braves team is playing everybody, whereas most of the teams in the league are sticking to a lineup from January to May, like not really being one game. Like, the Braves playing pretty much every game. Hey, you have a picture, guys. I'm sorry that you didn't have that for a minute. And he's going to walk Stuke, so Stuke reaches base. Shame on Casey Gast as he allows Stuke to reach base for the first time today.
Johnson of now, so far today, he's gotten grounded out to short, got on with a single, and then walked. He's had a funny day batting. He didn't bat at all the first 2 innings, and then batted 3 straight innings, and then sat in the 6th inning. Their offense has gone in waves so far, as it caught fire towards the 4th and the 5th.
Yeah, we had a game a couple years ago where a player and another breaking ball catching the outside corner, 2 consecutive backdoor breaking balls for strikes. I think we had a player bat 4 times in the first 3 innings or something like that. It was insane.
That one was a little bit too low there. Gas picks up the first ball of the bat.
I feel like Tim Johnson would have been taking regardless of what that pitch was, just because he didn't swing at the first 2 and then he didn't chase the curveball in the dirt. Like, I'd be anxious seeing another curveball if I were up there, but maybe just good plate discipline. The 1-2 breaking ball takes it just a little bit low as the Dodgers middle infield, who has the best view of it from anybody on the field, they started heading towards the Dodger dugout. They thought that was strike 3.
2-2 now, though.
Gas will come set, come home. And a chopper foul towards the Dodger dugout. And can see why they're not playing in the field today, as every single one of them miss it.
Yep. Johnson didn't have the longest season, got cut short at St. Joseph's University. Started in 5 games, appeared in 14, had 3 hits, 1 run, and no RBIs.
Well, has an RBI here today as that ball hit foul back towards the into the stands, and I guess it got out of the stadium. Okay, I wasn't sure. It looked like it was a little bit low. Had to ask Ian over here, who's given us a hand this season with everything.
Ian, our spotter, our eyes and ears up here.
Being our spotter, he's being our cameraman. He's
jack of all trades.
He's
really.
kind of being the intern for the interns type of deal this year. You'll hear him at some point this season. He's going to get some innings of play-by-play as we go forward. But Johnson fouling one off here, 2-2. As Gast will come set and come home. Another breaking ball. This one fisted, and that's going to get out of play.
We're approaching pitch number 7 at this at-bat, it looks like.
Wow, and this game is with all the offense. I mean, it wasn't like the game against the Grays where there was 20 combined walks, 4 hit batters, and and all that. But it's a long game so far at this point. I mean, it's 9:47. The game against the Redbirds ended at 9:42.
An opening pitch was just after 7 o'clock. So it's been over 2.5 hours as we're still stuck in the top of the 7th.
2-2. Swung on and missed. Casey Gass gets his 4th strikeout of the game. And Johnson down on strikes, and we're going to go to the bottom of the 7th. The Dodgers are going to keep trying to chip away. Maybe they can get the whole thing back here in the bottom of the 7th. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. And we're back for the bottom of the 7th inning. Taj Porter going to lead things off for the Dodgers.
It's 1 for 2 today with a single, fly out, and a strikeout.
And we'll take that single here if we are allowed to pick. I'll take a walk too. It doesn't really matter. It's the first
we'll
pitch
get
missing well outside.
A hit, strikeout, and a walk. That's a fine day for him.
And a run scored would be good. The 1-0 catching the corner, and that's evening the count at a ball and a strike. Just so you know, Ryan Remo, his final line, 4 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, walked 2, hit a batter, and struck out 5. The 1-1, swung on and missed. Another high fastball. These guys are chasing the high fastball all day long.
Yep, Klein so far through the season, he's got, to the moment, 8 strikeouts and only 2 batters walked. So good numbers from Klein's.
And Porter
He went.
not able to hold his swing. He's down on strikes for the second time today. It's 2 strikeouts in the game for John Kleins, and that's just 4 innings pitched and 8 strikeouts. Now 9 strikeouts?
That would be
His 10th strikeout.
coming into the game. Klein's had 7 strikeouts. That's 9 strikeouts on the season.
In just 4 innings and 4 and a third
Impressive
innings.
stuff from the pitcher right there,
It's
the left-hander.
about an 18 K per 9. As now Trevor Doyle will try and lay down a bunt for a base hit, and that's unsuccessful. Adam Colin over at third base.
I think Doyle's just got just as good luck getting on base with a hit right now. No one on base, no one to advance their runners with a bunt right now. But he's going to go for it anyway. That lefty bunt right there proves to be lethal at times.
And the
Fastball,
0-1 delivery in there for a strike. Klein's down the count, no balls and 2 strikes. He's got he's been on base a couple times today. He struck out in the 5th, but he singled to lead off the ball game for the Dodgers, and that's when things looked really good as the Dodgers put up a 5 spot. They had a 5-0 lead. Or no, excuse me. Sorry, they had a 4-0 lead at the end of 2, and then a 5-1 lead after 3, and then just things kind of unraveled from there as the Braves started to pour it on.
They had that explosive triple by Norwood.
And a pair of triples in that inning that obviously hurt.
Back in the 5th right there. That really poured salt on the wound. But Doyle now down 0-2 in the count.
Casey Gast has come in and kind of settled things down a little bit, but Dodgers offense now has to pick up the slack. A good hold there by Doyle. Get back in the count, a ball and 2 strikes.
It's very impressive work, though, by Trevor Doyle this season. Only going to be a freshman in the fall. Keep that in mind. He just finished up his senior year of high school to come across the country to play Summer League. Very, very impressive.
2-2, line drive right at the shortstop, and I believe that is Brett Norwood playing shortstop.
I'll say it's
as Gauthier had exited the ball game, and then at third base is Colin.
the Braves team does to keep us on our toes. They like to move things around for us.
Yeah, and we didn't exactly do our binocular work in between innings. As D. Shelton stands in, takes the first delivery to miss outside, and that is in fact Norwood at shortstop. The 1-0. Ground ball towards second. Second baseman up with it, and he'll throw to first to record the out. The Dodgers go down in order in the 7th. We're going to head to the 8th. They trail by 3. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. we're back for the top of the 8th inning. It's the Braves, right? Braves.
Yep.
Braves 9, Dodgers 6, and the Dodgers want to hold it right where it's at.
Top of the 8th. You're running out of time if you're the Dodgers to make a comeback, but good offense is a good defense, as we all know. So they got to make a stand here and keep it at 3 runs.
Yeah, Brett Norwood stands in. He was the reason there's a big lead is he tries to drop down a bunt, but a good job by Casey Gast getting off the mound quickly to retire the speedy Brett Norwood.
You know, Casey Gass right there makes a difficult play, makes an easy play, a difficult play look easy. Let's get it right the first time.
I was wondering if you were going to insult him or not.
Yeah, no, Casey Gass makes a difficult play look easy, charges the ball right there, and immediately wastes no time, turns around, and gets the out at first. Very, very good work by Gast.
And a little fister over towards first base and catching it in the air, but still preparing to flip it to first base to the pitcher covering was the first baseman Nixon. That was interesting. Like, he didn't realize. He didn't trust that he caught it in the air.
Number 10,
Bryce Leisure will stand in. So yeah, some little bit of weirdness going
But
on.
good defensive stand right here by the Dodgers.
Breaking ball is going to miss down low by Gast.
And if you can get through here right now, you'd be going into the top of the ninth inning with the Braves bottom of the order up if you're able to retire 1, 2, 3.
No, 4, 5, 6. But as you say that, a ball hit into right, and it's going to get down for a base hit. Leisure's got his second hit of the game, a couple of singles into right. And that'll bring Vinny Costello to the plate. Assuming they don't change.
Number 19, Vinny Costello.
Yep, Vinny Costello is still staying in the game. Surprised we haven't seen more moves by the Braves, but knowing me, I might just jinx that right now.
It's mild for them, yeah.
Yeah, they like to get everyone in like we talked about. So far, they've only made 2 moves so far.
And just so you know, this is, and I know you know this, but everybody else, this is going to be the last time we see the Braves here at Joe Cannon Stadium. Fly ball out to center.
Routine pop
Doyle
fly.
right there, and that's going to do it. As I was saying, this is the last time we're going to see the Braves here at Joe Cannon Stadium until the playoffs. We're only 2 weeks in, and we can throw our Braves notes away.
That's exactly what I'm going to do, and I'm going to be very happy about that. I've spent a lot of hours researching these guys, but they will not be coming back here, as our next game against them will be on the road against the Braves.
So that's going to do it for the 8th, top half of the 8th. We're going to come to the bottom. The Dodgers need some runs. It's Baltimore Dodgers baseball. Welcome back to the bottom of the 8th inning. Baltimore Dodgers have some work to do as they trail by 3. And Colin Berg hoping he's got the juice.
Yep, Colin Berg up to bat right now for the Dodgers.
I'm sorry, he has the juice.
Yep.
3 for 4, 2 runs scored today.
Yep. Scored back in the 1st and in the 6th. Let's see if he can continue that hot streak tonight and go 4 for 5. Bat 800, not a bad day at the office.
Takes the first delivery in there for a strike. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody would be happy with the 4 for 5 day. Those don't come around very often. Actually, that would tie for the most hits in a single game by any Dodger player. Not a single Dodger player has a 5-hit game, but there's multiple 4-hit games, I believe 10 in the now 5-year and 4 and 3/4 of a game history of the Dodgers.
I'd say only you would know all the stats right now. There's no one behind here.
Chopper to short. Norwood up with it. He'll throw to first to retire Berg. And one away here in the 8th.
As I was saying, there's no stat guy behind us right now who's pulling out all these numbers from behind his tail. It is simply Rob with it all upstairs in his head right now. He knows all this stuff. It is quite the sight to see to work next to him. But Paul Nixon now up to bat.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a moot point because he doesn't reach that milestone, but it was painstaking work. I sat through and went through all the Cal Ripken League stuff and compiled, all the statistics and stuff. Is Nixon taking another wild swing. This time the pitch, it looked like it was in the dirt. So, I mean, he's just really going for those home runs, like, on every single swing.
Yep, with 1 out, no one on base. You're down by 3. You got to get base runners if you're Nixon. You can't be swinging for the fences.
That fastball catching the outside corner. He knew it. It looked like he was ready to pull the trigger, but maybe a little bit late.
Now he's got to really defend the plate here. 0-2, 1 out, bottom of the 8th. You got to get someone on base if you're Nixon.
And the delivery. That's going to miss outside. A good pitch there by Kleins as he tried to extend the zone a little bit more, maybe getting that chase from Nixon. Ball and 2 strikes account on the big right-handed hitter who's wearing number 19 today. I don't know if he didn't bring his blue as he swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt. And didn't look good on that swing. Got fooled by the breaking ball there. And it's going to bring Paul DePino to the plate.
Yep, it's not been a memorable day for Nixon. We'll go through his at-bats. In the first, he did have a sacrifice fly that brought in a run. And then he had a walk in the second, but after that, it's a grounder, a fly out, and then a strikeout.
Yeah, I mean, a pair of runs batted in, but 0 for 3 today. So,
Yep.
It's kind of a mixed bag. When the Dodgers were getting runners on base, it was kind of good, but then, not coming up with runners in scoring position the rest of the way has made it maybe a little more difficult. Maybe just not focusing enough when their bases are empty or just a runner on first. Is Paul DePino taking a delivery that's going to miss outside?
And DePino, another player who's really covered all the bases so far, and when he can do hitting, started with a walk, a strikeout, a single. He's singled his last 2 at-bats, and hopefully he can keep that streak going. As a 2-out rally is very much needed here by the Dodgers. They trail by 3.
Yeah, been on base 3 times. Add to those 2 hits, a walk back in the first, the 1-1. That's going to miss up high. The wind that was here earlier has subsided. The flags are draped around the flag pole currently. As the 2-1, popped foul and out of play.
That'd be one lucky fan in the parking lot right now getting that ball. Or more likely one unlucky car in the parking lot getting that one.
Well, luckily, off to that side and directly behind us, we're just worried about joggers in the park.
Yeah.
That's what.
To go with the game ball from Cal Ripken League.
2-2 pitch on the way. That's going to miss a little bit low. Good eye there by DePino.
Able to keep himself alive here.
Yeah, it'll run the count full.
Down to the last strike of the inning.
DePino, not a ton of speed, so don't anticipate if he walks here, he'll be manufacturing putting a runner in scoring position. Also, a 3-run lead, you don't want to run yourself out of any potential innings. A 3-2 pitch hit hard into left. Right there is Johnson to make the catch. A little bit of a sliding catch, I think maybe was overkill as he almost slid past it and still caught it above his head. But he makes the catch nonetheless. And the Dodgers go down in order in the 8th. We're going to head to the 9th. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. All right, ninth inning of play. Casey Gast still out on the hill. He's going strong so far in the game. No runs currently through 3 1/3 inning.
Yep, and Nick Wheeler getting his second at-bat right now. The senior, so one of the elder players on this team, appearing in a 6th game of the season. And we'll talk about, though, it's nothing too spectacular as his Braves like to get anyone in the game.
And he's going to try and drop down a bunt. That's going to hit the grass and roll foul. As the grass here is not right up on the line like you'll see at Camden Yards, where it's like grass and line are like right next to each other. So that ball hitting the grass line and rolling foul. It was a good bunt attempt there by Wheeler as he tries to get on base.
Wheeler looking for his 4th hit of the season in his 2nd season with the Braves. And in this past season with the Tigers, he had 18 hits, 14 runs, and 9 RBIs, along with 1 home run.
And he hits one deep out to center. Going back is Doyle. Going back. He reaches up, and he just can't make the catch. Rounding second. No. Whoa. What happened there?
Everyone's
and
upset.
He's hearing it. He's got the boo birds coming from the crowd as he stops at second base.
I think he just wanted to be nice. I really don't he had third, and he probably had third standing as well. But he'll park it and put himself at second.
Yeah, if you hit it over the center fielder's head with that 4-10 sign out there, is now manager Derek Brown out to talk with his pitcher. But if you hit it over the center fielder's head, you should be at third easy in this stadium.
Yeah, and
absolutely easy.
And Wheeler,
I don't know if maybe he thought he caught it because it was close. It was close, but I looked up and I was just going into auto mode, like rounding third or rounding second, heading to third. He's gonna get in and like, whoa, he stopped, and you could hear it on our field mic here. Everybody in the stadium was booing him.
And Wheeler kind of put his hands up in defense, like, hey, I didn't see if the third base coach gave him a signal to keep going, but he just let up as soon as he got to second base. He didn't even turn and start looking behind his shoulder. He just was content with the double and was going to stay there. And I'm interested to see if this is going to cost him. If the Dodgers are able to put runs up in the bottom of the ninth, it'd be quite the story of, wow, if only Wheeler had gone to third, but time will tell.
Yeah, that would be huge, actually. If the Dodgers come back and tie this could be a turning point.
Yeah.
Or just a point that you're like, well.
Didn't matter at the end of the day, but.
Yeah, it's just.
Could go one of two ways now, but here we go.
We'll see. As Gas trying the inside move, but nobody there. Wheeler getting back easily.
Up to bat now, Adam Colin. One of 3 Citadel players, like I mentioned before, from Bellport, New York.
Casey Gast missing inside and low to Colin. He was a little bit upset with himself as he snatched the ball back from his catcher, Graham. A little breaking ball is going to miss outside, and now 2 balls and no strikes.
Colin looking for his 4th hit of the season.
And Tony Bianchini, the pitcher warming up down the left field line for the Dodgers. As Gast maybe looking for or having trouble finding that strike zone. 11 hits in the game for the Braves so far. I mean, this is a high-hitting game, right?
Yep.
20 hits in the game so far. It's better than having 20 walks in the game like we had against the Grays. I would have preferred like all the hits being Dodger hits. Ground ball to short. Up with it is Shelton. He throws the first to record the out.
So that would have been a run right there for the Braves if Wheeler had gone to third on that double. So let's keep a note on that.
There's an if too.
He would have scored, I think.
Dodgers maybe play the infield in there, which would have made that a looper to the shortstop, and he catches it in the air. So as the ball just kind of hit right at the edge of the grass. But that's going to do it for Casey Gast, and Tony Bianchini is going to come in to take things over and finish up the game for the Dodgers. As long as he can get these last 2 outs, of course. But we'll see what he can do when we come back. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. Tony Bianchini on to pitch for the Dodgers. He has finished his warm-up pitches, and he's going to face off against Ryan Davis.
And this is Tony's second game of the season. He's got 1 inning pitch under his belt, 2 strikeouts and 3 walks. Appeared in 12 games, started 10 this past season for Frederick Junior College.
And Dodgers with the infield in, trying to cut down that run. You want as few runs as possible to have to try and score. It's a foul ball back to the screen here by Davis. Davis struck out his last time against Casey Gast. Gast goes 3 2/3, excuse me. Has yet to surrender a run, but that runner at third base is his responsibility. A fastball just missing the inside corner.
And Nick Wheeler, though, he is a speedster, despite not going to third. We keep talking about that, but he does have 2 stolen bases so far in the season. So you got to imagine he's probably going to be looking to go home off anything, but he'll be cautious.
The
See what
1-1.
the field does.
The ball getting past the catcher, coming home, no throw. As that's going to be, I'm not really sure.
Who's that going to go to?
For me, I'm going to call that a pass ball. That ball didn't look to be that bad of a delivery, and it looked like it just got past Graham. So I'm going to say that Wheeler is going to score on the pass ball, which may or may not still be earned to Casey Gast.
Yeah, Wheeler, Graham definitely got a lot of his glove on that one.
2-1's going to miss outside. So we'll see what happens from here on out. If he can get a couple strikeouts, that'll go down as an unearned run against Casey Gast. But if he gives up a single here, then the run will become earned. It's the 3-1, and that's inside.
Tony picks up his first walk of the game and his 4th walk of the season.
Jeff Stuke will come in to face off against Bianchini.
Bianchini was 3rd in strikeouts this past season at Frederick and 2nd in innings pitched. So he was definitely a workhorse kind of player for Frederick.
And that pitch in there for a strike. Jeff Stuke standing in, still looking for that first hit in the Cal Ripken League season. 3 strikeouts today to go with the 8 that he had coming into today. So 11 strikeouts total on the year, breaking ball in the dirt. And he's got 3 walks.
Yep. 1-1 now for Stuke.
I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking, his at-bats are 8. He had 6 strikeouts coming into today. 9 strikeouts now. That fastball missing outside.
He was able to get walked his last at-bat, though, which is progress for him.
So it's 9 strikes and 11 at-bats and 3 walks on the season. Probably not the statistics his college coach wants to see right now, but we'll see if he can break out of it here. The 2-1 pitch is fouled off the hands back to the backstop. Just not even putting the ball in play. Just 2 times in the season so far.
Duke at the University of Dayton. The Flyers went 21-31 this past season.
2-2, runner off with a pitch, swing and a miss. Throw down to second base is not in time. Stuke down on strikes for the 4th time today. That's the first strikeout for Bianchini. And a stolen base for Ryan Davis.
Yep, now left fielder Tim Johnson.
Tim Johnson, a pair of hits and a strikeout today. 1 hit and a walk.
A strikeout and a ground out.
The 2 times that he's reached base were off of starter Stephen Cook. He struck out against Casey Gast and takes a breaking ball on the outer part of the plate for a strike. One of the cool parts about Joe Cannon Stadium is looking up and seeing all the airplanes taking off.
Yeah, it does. Definitely does add to the scenery in the background.
I mean, I know those of you watching on your phones and laptops and home computers probably don't get to see it since it's out beyond the view of the camera, but you get to see the planes taking off like all night. It's really kind of cool. I kind of wish I'm on the planes. Traveling is so much fun. It's a 1-1 pitch. It's swung on and missed.
Yep. BWI just down the road from us right here. Not far a drive at all. 5-10 minutes.
No, we could probably walk there in a half an hour.
Yeah.
They'd probably be wondering why people are just wandering up to the airport, though. So 1-2. That's in the dirt. Good take there by Johnson. The Dodgers trailing by 4 now, thanks to the passed ball by Nick Graham. Started the game with a 4-0 lead. Swing and a miss, and down goes Johnson. That's the second strikeout of the game by Bianchini, and that's going to do it for the Braves. We're going to head to the bottom of the ninth. The Dodgers have some work. They need 4. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. And bottom of the ninth inning, Baltimore Dodgers trailing by 4 as Nick Graham is going to lead things off.
Do or die here for the Dodgers. They need 4, and they need it now. They trail 10-6 here at the bottom of the ninth. Pressure is on for each batter, and Nick Graham will be the first to be tested here.
And he's going to hit a fly ball out into center field. Under it is Costello. He'll make the catch for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out.
You got to appreciate and admire the aggressiveness by Nick Graham right there, just to attack it right away. First pitch, waste no time. Unfortunately, just a hair under it, and we got our first out of the inning. And the best walkout song continues until to the hype. I'll say that for every single time he comes up.
Jake Ruby standing in, lefty-lefty matchup here. That's going to miss up high.
Ruby so far today got a single back in the first inning, walked in the third inning, flew out in the fourth inning, and struck out looking in the sixth inning.
And the 1-0 is going to miss up high. 2 balls and no strikes. Base runners, base runners, base runners. That's what we're looking here for the Dodgers.
I would not mind, with no one on right now, for Ruby to be a little more on the conservative side of the bat. Like you said, base runners, base runners, base runners. You don't have to attack pitches you're not in love with.
Yeah, 2-0 pitch is fouled off, but yeah, just
down by 4, you need base runners.
Absolutely. It's work the walks as best if you can and get the base hits when necessary.
Yep, another
so that one's going to miss.
3-1. Like I said, I would be I would be a little more on the conservative side. You know, when you're down by 4, if you like it, obviously swing at it, but don't feel the need to be a hero and try and make up for 4 runs in one swing.
The 3-1, that's in there for a strike. 3 balls and 2 strikes, the count on the, well, left fielder from Ohio State. 3-2. Hit
get
hard
down.
To right, and going back, making the running catch is Wheeler. And the Dodgers now have 2 down in the bottom of the ninth.
Dario Torres, the weight of the world will rest on his shoulders here as he has to.
I don't know about that, but
Well, he's got to start, and 2-hour rally has to begin with him right now. They need 4, and he's got to be the one that's to kick off the campaign here.
Yeah, I don't know about necessarily weight of the world, but
It's close to it.
he's got at least 4 guys behind him that got to do something too.
Yeah.
So he's got to feel like even if he gets a hit, the chances are still pretty slim for the Dodgers here in the ninth inning as he swings and misses through the first pitch delivered to him.
All right, we'll downgrade to weight of the ball club right now. So far, Torres today, strikeout, walk, and then a single and a flyout.
The 0-1 pitch missing in the dirt evens the count at a ball and a strike.
1 for 3 on the day today. The junior from West Virginia Institute of Technology.
As the 1-1 pitch on the way, and that's a breaking ball, and that finds the strike zone. And the Dodgers now down to their final strike. As Torres down in the count, a ball and 2 strikes.
Got to attack the ball here. Final strike. You can't go down looking.
The 1-2 swung on and missed, and Torres down on strikes. That's going to do it for the Dodgers here this evening. And started off promising, right?
Yep.
But unfortunately, it didn't end that way. Stephen Cook's going to end up with the loss. Ryan Remo will get the win for the Braves. But, it started off well, but then the pitching started to falter as guys started to get a little bit tired. So the Dodgers going to try it again tomorrow night back here at Joe Cannon Stadium as they take on the Loudoun River Dogs.
Yep, and I think the one thing we got to look back to this game right now was with bases loaded with Brett Norwood up to bat, and the manager for the Dodgers elected to keep Stephen Cook in, and that proved to be a little fatal potential. We'll never know, but after that triple by Norwood, which cleared the bases and extended the Braves' lead to 4 runs back in the 5th inning, that really was the dagger as Casey Gass came in after the next batter, and he got the quick out right there. And that would have been an interesting game if Gass came in before Norwood got to that triple.
Yeah, that triple was really kind of the turning point. If you bring in Casey Gast, maybe he gets them, and unfortunately that wasn't the call that was ultimately made. And, the Dodgers just fall on the short end of the stick. But we'll see if they can turn it around tomorrow against the Loudoun River Dogs team. Let's take a quick look at the standings. Loudoun River Dogs, before today, 0-4, 5 games back in the South. But we'll see what they did today in their ball game. Actually, they might have been off if memory serves, because I'm not currently looking at the live games. But that's going to do it for us here at Joe Cannon Stadium. One final time, the score from Joe Cannon Stadium is the Braves 10, the Baltimore Dodgers 6. And I'd like to thank you for listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball.